And welcome into a Bandwagon Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. Happy to be along with you the next 3 hours. Well, welcome to jump in here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. You heard Tommy's comments from yesterday, a bright lights team, which this team has been at points this season. Wins against Duke, the exhibition start against Purdue, a tough game at home, college game day, and a loss to Kentucky, but played them about as spirited as any team has all season. Went to Tuscaloosa, went to Rupp, and battled. Lost in both those games, unfortunately. Now, you have the, not just appeal of the SEC tournament, Nashville, Broadway, and a lot of eyes are going to be on SEC basketball this week. It is tournament week. We've already seen teams punch their tickets. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like a Arkansas team will be represented with Little Rock being eliminated in the OVC tournament. And unfortunately, Arkansas State lost by like 20 last night to James Madison. Tommy, I'm kind of bummed. Arkansas State was the last hope for the state, and doesn't look like the Red Wolves will be, doesn't look like the Red Wolves will not be in the NCAA tournament.
What's going on around here? You know, that's sitting how it's supposed to be. We got a good basketball state. What in the world has happened here? So, yeah, I don't know. Disappointing. How much would you have bet? When there was a Bet Saracen booth, and you could have walked up and made a bet about Arkansas and the tournament following the Duke game, you'd bet it all, right? I mean, like the easiest thing on the board, you could have bet make the tournament, be a top 10 seed, be a better than 7 seed, be a top 4 seed, be a 1 overall seed. You wouldn't have fallen in just make the tournament. You'd have put your money on probably being a top 4 seed, right?
And you would have gotten terrible odds, too, and you would have lost. You would have had to bet.
Well, you'd have lost them all.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been a winning bet on the board. Mm-hmm. My point is, though, you'd have bet whatever on just making the field, right? Oh, there's no way after beating Purdue at home, we know they're good. Beating Duke at home, we know they're good. You'd have bet it all. We'd all lost the farm. And that's the frustrating thing as we look back at the beginning. I know Purdue was an exhibition game, but we know what we saw. We know how Purdue's season has turned out. Duke's season's turned out okay. Maybe not to the Duke standard, but it's still pretty damn good.
They lost to North Carolina twice, and I know their fans are taking the bet, but way better than Arkansas. You take that in a heartbeat.
Oh, they're in the field.
Yeah,
they got a number by their name. Mm-hmm. My point being is, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm trying to drive at here is, to start there and to have that belief, and I thought a rightful belief, I'd have bet it all leaving the arena that night. I know it was late, but I could have never, if you'd have told me, dude, you're not even going to get to 500 for the regular season, and you're not going to make the tournament field. If I'd have come in here and said that after watching that game on the radio, after beating Duke, if I'd have come in here the next morning and said that, y'all have had me committed. That's the wild part when you just look at it. And maybe Duke wasn't that good then. Maybe Arkansas was better then. I don't know, but this is the most puzzling season we've ever seen, just because of some of the things that have happened.
Yeah, they are a good team. They're not a great team. They're not going to win the ACC tournament, I don't think. North Carolina beat them twice in the regular season, and the Tar Heels are really in lockstep with the Vols for that last number 1 seed. Purdue, Arizona, and also Connecticut. Those two are battling. And North Carolina has that head-to-head where they crushed them in Chapel Hill this season, but Tennessee's got a lot of wins. So it is going to be interesting to see how things play out. I think now theirs is in Charlotte, right, Tommy? The ACC tournament's in Charlotte. I know the SEC's in Nashville, Big 12's in the KC.
Believe you're right. I don't know if they move it around. I'll be honest.
I think that's right. JT in Hot Springs with a text on the McLarty Daniel Hotline saying, knowing this basketball team, they're going to win 4 straight games in a row and then lose in the SEC tournament finals by 2. I don't know if my heart could take that, JT. Be pretty difficult.
But you'd like to stay in Nashville that long.
I would like to be there and watch Arkansas basketball.
I mean, really, if Arkansas goes over and if they're not successful Wednesday night, don't you think by Friday morning he needs to be back in the studio, Big C? I mean, there's really no need, but since the work would be done. I mean, I'm sure he's rooting for them to win a few games so he could stay the weekend in Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably need to have a staff meeting or something, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
There's
nothing to do in Nashville.
I'm out of pocket.
Nope.
Out of pocket at that point.
Duty calls.
Well, duty can call remotely when I'm there. And
Remotely.
You guys are here.
I just want to save you from having to spend a weekend over there.
Spending additional money. And I don't know what the odds would be that Arkansas could make, and I guess I could get on the Bet Saracen app, and they probably have it. What Arkansas's odd to win the SEC tournament? Again, the only team to actually
ACC tournament is in Washington D.C. according to
okay
at the T-Mobile.
I just
Center.
assumed it was.
Pardon me, T. Rowe Price.
T. Rowe
Center.
Price Center. Yeah, make sure you get
Washington D.C.
David in Alma says, if the Hogs can manage an NIT bid, they're going to be matched up against Arkansas State. Arkansas's not going to the NIT.
First of all, Arkansas won't host any games. We do understand that, right?
In the NIT?
Yeah. You wouldn't host any.
You'd be on the road.
Well, I mean, you don't even have a 500 record right now. You're one of the bottom teams in your league. No, you're not hosting. You wouldn't be hosting.
Well, I think, again, while Arkansas's not...
First of all, let's beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that's what Eric Musselman, we'll get to some of his audio coming up. While Arkansas is not in the NCAA tournament, at least we have the NCAA tournament. At least we have the players this weekend. At least we have the Masters coming up in a month, because this time 4 years ago, in fact, it was a little over 1,400 days, the NCAA tournament was canceled. The SEC tournament was canceled. Other tournaments were canceled. And sports came to an abrupt halt at that point. Yeah, it was
awful. Reminding me.
It was awful.
March
Big
Madness
C
was canceled.
Yes, and that was during COVID, and it was about as painful as a time as a sports fan, which all of you are listening are, because we didn't have anything to look forward to for 6 months.
Sports was the least of our concerns, though. I mean, everything you're saying is right, but the pain wasn't because of. Pain was not because of the tournament being canceled. We thought the world was being canceled. Businesses were sending their employees home, and no one knew what the next. We thought this was 2 weeks and we'd be done, right? That's what we were being told. Didn't happen that way. I mean, our world was in such a different place then than it is now. So, I mean, things like March Madness we really need to enjoy because, it was taken away, but that wasn't the hard part. The hard part was, watching all your hard work at your place of employment or otherwise, start to crumble, watching loved ones get sick and, watching the news would just depress you. So, I mean, having March Madness to enjoy, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, we'll do our Pradco Pyramid of Power coming up in the next hour. So we'll have our end of regular season event for that coming up. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They have their company, CHR, has locations all over the place. And you go to jobs.chr.com and you can look at the map that's on there. I was over in Oklahoma making a visit on a client yesterday and saw one of their CRH locations. So go to jobs.crh.com and you can look at that entire map. North Central Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, great paying jobs, great opportunities that are there as well. Heavy equipment operators, licensed CDL drivers, top pay, great benefits that include insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. That's jobs.crh.com. Jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
SEC Tournament in Nashville, Tennessee is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Family owned and operated and making your family dreams come true for over 70 years. Always online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Dispose of your surplus prescription drugs with no questions asked. Join us for Take Back Day on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find a convenient collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Whether you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas. How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit, or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Hey, I'm Hagen Smith. As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. So sign up now for Pascal's Plan Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family. Are you looking for a change of scenery? Lavorne Lumber is looking to hire a Class A CDL flatbed driver for a regional position. Lavorne Lumber is highly competitive in pay. Lavorne Lumber is a family-owned lumber and trucking company. Home most nights and every single weekend. Guaranteed. Lavorne Lumber has top-of-the-line equipment. If you're interested in the job, stop by Lavorne Lumber at 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, Monday through Friday from 9 to 4.
Spring is just around the corner, and Jelco Outdoors is ready with all of your spring fishing gear. Crappie, bass, catfish, Jelco has a great selection of rods, reels, and baits to help you fill that stringer. Spring turkey supplies are rolling in daily, and the firearms department is stocked up with ammo for outdoor shooting. Spring is almost here, so get outdoors and enjoy the spring season. Stop by Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, for all your outdoor gear. Think spring, think Jelco Outdoors.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Drive a third-row SUV that is style in motion with the 2023 Buick Enclave at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get $1,250 in total savings or 2.9% financing on a 23 Buick Enclave. The 23 Buick Enclave, designed for the road ahead and well-crafted for your refined taste. Test drive a new Buick Enclave and experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Trying to talk to the morning rush, much more important than my real job.
0-1. The pitch swung on, skied into center, hit well. Sturgeon going back at the track, at the wall. He looks up, and it is gone.
Please rate and review the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Give us 5 stars to help us get our content out to the rest of the Razorback family. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Latest edition of the Giving the Hogs Chucks podcast is out there if you want to go listen to that. And, of course, always the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast, and the Ruskin and Zach podcast presented by United Roofing and Waterproofing. So I want to talk some NFL coming up. There's been a lot of player movement the last 24 hours. Hard to keep track of, but we'll do our best in just a sec.
You're headed to Nashville, starting your day right here in Arkansas, going to end your day on in Music City, on Music Row. And all of our live coverage coming up from the SEC tournament is brought to you in part by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, family-owned and operated. And they've been making families' dreams come true for more than 70 years. You can find them online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Expired or unused prescription medications pose a public safety risk. Safeguard lives and protect the environment by participating in Take Back Day on April 27th. Find a convenient collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. All right, what's the first thing you're going to, I say do, but it's really probably going to be eat when you get to the greater Nashville area?
There's a pizza place probably 5 minutes where I'm staying called Midnight Oil, where I will consume a large...
Midnight Oil? That's an interesting name.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Cool vibes, and I will consume an entire large pizza of pepperoni and mushrooms and ranch.
Pepperoni, mushroom. I could go for that. What if we added a little onion to it?
I love onions.
That'd be good.
I'm good on that.
We get down with some of that.
My father does not like mushrooms. That is his really. He's not picky at all, but he can't do mushrooms for some reason. My mom loved him.
I like pepperoni mushroom. I like sausage mushroom onion.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
That's a good one. Yeah. Pizza wise, there's not a lot of pizzas that I don't enjoy. I'll eat pretty much anything, but
Supreme's my go-to. But
hot chicken's on the itinerary, as is barbecue. There's plenty of good spots. I would say that Nashville, that's the city. I mean, I go to 2 or 3 times a year. SEC tournament, weekends, whatever. That's probably outside of Dallas, the city I frequent the most outside of the state of Arkansas.
I think I stayed somewhere different than where you were staying. I had some friends that own a home there, and I stayed with them in Nashville when we went for media days. I ate at a couple good local places, but I think Martin's Barbecue is one out by their house.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got multiple locations.
Yep,
around.
Martin's is great.
I didn't get downtown at night to eat, but I know I saw Hattie B's there and kind of all the tourist traps.
I wanted to take you to Prince's, but it was closed before we took you to the airport. Remember I was taking you to the airport and it was closed?
What's the other big deal out there kind of coming back from the airport that is that the kind of the family style? It's not a buffet, but it's kind of an all-you-can-eat.
Monet's or Monet's. Yeah, Monet's.
I think Monet's or Modell, something like that. We were going to go there, but the night we were going to go, we had eaten a bunch. I'm like, I can't.
And it was closed. They closed at 2 too. That because we were going to go on Sunday and they closed.
Yeah, they closed early on Sunday. We were going to go another night, but I wasn't ready for a gut buster that night.
I pounded, I think that night, a burger, shake, and fries. So I was ready for a gutbuster. We got a text on the McLarty Daniel hotline saying that you have good taste: sausage, mushroom, and what is ABS?
He meant to say onion and
onions all the way. Probably voice to text here on the McLarty Daniel hotline. So I guess pizza toppings.
I'm like you. The worst pizza I ever had wasn't terrible. I mean, I've had bad pizza, but you can just about mix up the toppings any way you want.
Yeah.
So. All right, so Nashville, going to be there live later today and morning rush there the next few days. I guess you're hoping they win so you can stay for the weekend.
Did you hear Derek and Zach yesterday? They're cheering for a win on Wednesday night so they don't have to do a show on Thursday.
Well, of course.
That's all they're cheering for. Not that the state would be in a better situation because the fans won't be ticked off if they just go over in Nashville, but they don't want to have to do a show. Their video stream popped off.
Yeah,
I got to give credit to the Wolf Wilwitz, and he's a big part of getting that thing corked up and ready to go. But they had a lot.
Well, here's the question: if the Hogs win and Ruskin and Zach maybe make this one of the make this what it was, the unlimited heating and air Twitter polls for them. Should Ruskin and Zach get paid for a day they don't have to do the show?
The answer is no.
No. Okay.
No.
There's one vote for no. Should they at least be charged a vacation day?
No, you just shouldn't pay them because they
just
won't
not pay them at all.
They won't come in. The MDQ won't come in if they're not having to do a show. There's no way they show up to the studios.
So it's vacation day or just no pay at all? Just
no pay.
Prorate it.
Yeah, don't strike them with both. Just this is
you wouldn't do both. I mean,
yeah, don't pay him that day. That's how I would go about doing it. You have jurisdiction there, but that's why I would.
Well, you always say I lean on you for great input, so I'll take that under advisement.
I think that's a pretty good input at this point. Eric,
I hope Zach. Well, there's no chance Zach is up this early listening.
It is a little early for their taste. They forget that 6:00 happens twice a day sometimes. Derek used to remember, but he is. Few years past, he no longer wakes up this early. Have you had the Ditka at Gusano's? Eric and Greenwood text in. I have not.
What is the Ditka?
I'm assuming that's
I may have.
an all meat. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's the all meat one. I have
was it the Boz or the Bosworth or something over at Hideaway? It's got
I've had that. Yes.
What it's got? It's got jalapenos and pepperoni and something.
Yeah,
I'll tell you another one. And me and you have had this. Brick Oven in Harrison. We were up there with our man Jamie one night. They've got this like triple pepperoni where they do like the diced pepperoni, then they do the regular pepperonis, and then they do these little small ones that curl up in the oven, and then they put some kind of like hot sauce on it too. And I mean, that is money.
It's hard to beat. So
that is money. Now it's not probably good for your cholesterol, but that is money.
Now Rockies in Hot Springs, Papa's in Fort Smith. Probably, I was partial to Mojo's when I was in school.
Used to be Rod's in the day in Hot Springs, but it's not what it once was.
Brick Oven in Harrison.
Brick Oven. I'm gonna tell you that triple pepperoni. Well, I don't even know what it's called, but it's kind of got some spice to it. Money.
I always dump the Chipotle hot
Well, it comes with like, I don't know what it is, but it's got a little kick to it. I like it. So, hey, if you're headed to the Hill for a baseball weekend or maybe a springtime getaway or spring break getaway, the Inn at the Mill is the place we recommend you stay. They got big, oversized rooms. They got great, fast, free, high-speed internet. They got a great breakfast to start the day. And for 12-plus years running, they've been the highest rated for staff interaction, which means friendly staff, friendly people. They get you everything you need with that personal touch you're looking for. We love staying at the Inn at the Mill. It's conveniently located at the Johnson exit, right in the heart of Northwest Arkansas. Call them to reserve your room, 479-443-1800. Never a phone tree, never press 1. They pick up the phone and answer. 479-443-1800 or inatthemill.com.
Live coverage of the 2024 SEC Tournament in Nashville, Tennessee is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Elma.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile device. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team. And remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, suckling.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile device. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team. And remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are
toppings and restaurants are mentioned. We got 15 texts that we have to filter through. We'll get to some of those coming up in just a sec. Also, do want at some point talk some NFL and what Eric Musselman had to say about this upcoming matchup against the Commodores.
Hey, it's a big week for a lot of it. I know big weekend coming up with St. Patrick's Day this Sunday. If you're the designated driver for the pub crawl or whatever's this weekend, take that job seriously. If it's your turn to be that designated driver, take that role on and do it right. Don't consume alcohol, not even one drink. Don't depend on the luck of the Irish this weekend. Please remember, drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
All right, so a few texts to get to this morning. Chad and Texarkana, in terms of the toppings, suggest chicken bacon ranch. Not just good on a sandwich, but yes, very good on a pizza too. Quentin in Clarksville says, if we had DeLuca's in Hot Springs. Yes, Quentin, I've had it one time.
We had that together, didn't we?
We did. Yes.
And you and Scott?
I let you get the bill. I was very kind of me to do so.
Alligator arms. Yeah.
It's like, oh! That's what Noah also
can't reach for my wallet.
Enjoys, well, it's just courtesy of an employee to let the employer get the bill.
Yeah, well, thank you for being so courteous.
Yeah.
My kids have that same courtesy all the time.
Yeah, Andy in Benville enjoys Tim's Pizza in Northwest Arkansas. I like Tim's.
My brother, I have not been to Tim's. It's on the square, right? Fayetteville?
You got one on the square and then one's at, is it Mission and Cross? It's kind of off the beaten path a little bit. There's one on the square.
Right.
And then there's one kind of off the beaten path.
Okay. I don't think it's Mission and Crossover, but I've heard it's very good.
Yes, it is good.
My brother has a good friend whose family's connected to that.
Okay.
I need to try it.
You've had Nema's in Gassville. That's what B in Clarksville suggests.
They have these world championships. I've tried it. It's good. You hear world class and all that. I mean, I guess I've had so much pizza, but it is very good.
Jerry in Fort
I don't want to say it's the best pizza I've ever had, but it's very good.
Now and Craig in Fort Smith also cites Nema's as
good.
well. Jerry in Fort Smith says Pizzeria Ruby. That is in Northwest Arkansas, right by the Inn at the Mill.
Yeah, when I stay at the Inn at the Mill, I need to walk. I mean, you can literally walk over.
Mm-hmm.
And I've driven by it a few times and stumbled on it. There was like a line out the door just to get in the place, to that kind of new shopping center, but it's kind of around the corner. I need to, I guess, just wait my turn and get in there. Or maybe I'll tell them I'm Ty Richardson. They'll move me to the front of the line. I don't know.
It could happen. They have good pasta too. CC in Fayetteville said Tim's East is on Mission, so it's not Mission and Crossover.
Okay.
It's just on Mission. I knew I had one of those street names right. Again, I'm not good with street names. I'm good with landmarks, and I remember that was somewhere over there.
You're one of these people that couldn't find your butt with two hands without MapQuest, right? Without the Maps app on your phone.
Google Maps and Waze, baby. I will say I don't need Google Maps or Waze to go to Nashville because it's all interstate, which is nice.
But are you one of these like me that even though you know exactly where you're going, you're still going to put it in there to see if you can beat the time?
Yeah, I always not just.
I can trim 20 minutes off that 8-hour drive,
and not just to beat the time, but occasionally. I mean, the worst, and I think all of our listeners can agree with this. The worst driving of any point of your trip is the time between Little Rock and Memphis. There is no worse drive in the United States of America.
I agree.
Outside of maybe Houston, which has the worst traffic in the world, than Little Rock to Memphis or Memphis to Little Rock. It's awful. And so occasionally, because of wrecks, because of traffic stoppages, Waze will redirect me to, and I don't know what's the perpendicular.
Probably 64 would be most of it.
And occasionally it takes me there, and I will then occasionally stop at Craig's in Duval's Bluff, or I still haven't been to Jones's in Mariana.
I have not been there either.
That is one of the more famous restaurants in all of Arkansas, but that's why I use. And like you said, to beat the time, I make
Let's
it.
See, there's Craig's in Duval's Bluff, then there's Nick's in Carlisle. Now that's kind of just outside of Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Been to both of those. I've not done Jones's either.
I've been to both those, but I haven't been to Jones's. I always they close like at 1 or 1:30, and I usually don't get out of here till 9:30 or so. So it's hard to get there in time. We're still getting texts, Tommy. Justin Nell, have you had Daddy T's?
Nope.
In Glenwood.
Glenwood, no. In Glenwood, I mean, I don't eat pizza often in Glenwood, but they got that Pizza Inn that's in the gas station there. You can get Baskin Robbins and Pizza Inn in one spot. That's a pretty good gas station.
Harry Dog in Fayetteville likes Dang Good Pies, or Damn Good Pies up
Daddy
there.
T's some we should try.
Yeah. The Rail in downtown Rogers from Jay and Cave Springs is good. Their pizza and their wings are really, really good. Jason Lowell also agrees. Hog Collar says the worst drive is through Kansas or Nebraska.
Yeah, but you're not going to get held up with traffic, I don't think, in Kansas or Nebraska.
There's just nothing there. Like
you can see Kansas and Nebraska from your drive.
When you make
flat.
the trek up to Omaha, that
See
drive,
the wind.
Mm-hmm, that's the it is just there's nothing on that drive when you go to Omaha, Nebraska, or you're staying in Cedar Rapids or
You weren't commenting from Little Rock to Memphis on the scenery. You were commenting on the
traffic
congestion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just always seems to be that way. Well, there's plenty of congestion right now in the National Football League with the amount of, again, moves that have been made. It is hard, as we were talking about before the show, it's really hard to keep track of all these guys. So Russell Wilson, probably one of the more prominent quarterbacks, going to the Steelers. You also have Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons. We'll ask Tom Murphy about that in about 2 hours or so. He signs for $180 million, $90 million guaranteed. You had Christian Wilkins, the defensive tackle for the Dolphins, go to the Raiders. Big C, what do you think about Pollard going to the Titans? Is that a big loss for you guys? There's Aaron Jones and some other guys out there. I'm curious where.
I was a little surprised. I think it was time for a change. I mean, he's an explosive back, but he doesn't really get you the tough yards, or he's not the most reliable running back, and you need kind of a proven guy, a workhorse that can get you yards in the playoffs. Pollard just kind of he's either hurt or he just kind of disappears.
What do you think about Derrick Henry?
Man,
to the Dallas Cowboys.
I'd be a fool not to want Derrick Henry, but I mean,
how many years is he in the league now? It seems like it's just yesterday he was at Alabama, but it's been more years than you think.
When did he win the Heisman Trophy?
Got to be 5 or 6 now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he won the Heisman Trophy, and I got the Alabama running backs run together.
Yeah,
to me.
I mean, but you think it? He was just at Alabama a few years ago, and you look up and that's. I bet we look it up 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I
now.
think you're right. I think I believe it was 2015, maybe.
Yeah,
that he won
maybe longer than that.
The Heisman Trophy. Other news: Josh Jacobs to the Green Bay Packers, Saquon Barkley to the Eagles, which was a pretty. And then our own Brandon Allen re-signs with the 49ers.
Good for him.
Along with what I thought was interesting, I think they re-signed Sam Darnold too. So they re-signed both of their backup quarterbacks.
Do you know how many years Brandon got on his deal?
I think it's just a 1-year deal.
1-year deal?
Yeah, I believe it's just a 1-year deal.
Man.
But you think about him, so 2015 is his senior season in Arkansas and gets drafted in 2016. Where did he get drafted to again?
Wasn't it the Bengals?
That sounds right. And then he just has continuously stayed. I don't know. Has he made it to a point where he's going to get that pension?
Should, yeah. Because I think he's had 3 years plus 3 seasons, and you got to be active in 6 games in a season. So it's basically 21 games over the course of 4 years. And I think he's more than eclipsed that. So yeah, he's going to have that, he's met that milestone
Billy
for
said,
later in life.
Maybe I misread. Billy said that Darnold signed with the Vikings, so maybe I thought I saw 49ers, Billy, but I could be wrong about that. So maybe they just signed Brandon
Vikings
as their
do need a quarterback.
Yeah, as their backup with Kirk Cousins going down south to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, on the subject of the National Football League, I did find these comments interesting from Tiki Barber on his radio show in New York. And I want to parallel this to Arkansas. So you've got Saquon Barkley, who's drafted by the Giants, re-signed with the Giants, and now is elected to play a couple years in Philadelphia, 3 years, I think $39 million. Listen to one of the better running backs in Giants history and his comments about Barkley going to the Eagles, an interdivision rival.
And Saquon has already taken to Twitter himself to say thank you to everyone who's shown me love and support over the past 6 years. Forever grateful, excited for the next chapter. Blue heart emoji. Peace.
Okay, right. Blue heart emoji. I'm looking at him.
He's dead to us now.
Yeah, say it.
He's dead to us.
Because he won't say it.
You're dead to us, Saquon. Good luck. You're dead to me.
So, again, pretty harsh comments, but honest comments from Tiki Barber, the New York Giants legend. Here were my thoughts on this. We're going to pull this back to Fayetteville. We're going to pull this back home. We've seen transfers happen. We've seen guys hit the portal. Now, Rocket Sanders has gone to an SEC team, but they're not on your schedule, right? Chris Paul stings to me a little bit more, because Ole Miss is coming into your house this year. You're having to play Ole Miss. KJ going to UCF, not on the schedule or anything. I get a sense, and maybe I'm wrong about this, the bandwagon I'm on with you as a fan is that you think more like Tiki than you are cheering for that former Razorback to have success at another institution.
Well, unless that kid's from my hometown or my home state, why would I cheer for someone that's turned their back on my school? I mean, I have no reason. I have no motivation. That's how I feel about it as a fan. I could care less. If KJ throws for a yard or 10,000 yards, I could care less.
You don't care about him anymore. Even
I don't know. I won't go as far as he's dead to me, but that's a little harsh. But
yeah,
I will not go out of my way to watch UCF because he's there.
And that's the professional versus collegiate. You're not gonna go to the full lengths like Tiki.
But we're gonna get there because of the money now with NIL.
Yes,
and particularly once it becomes public, how much these guys are really making.
And what I also thought about is like high school kids within the state that went to other SEC schools, and I think predominantly basketball with Kayvon Allen, Malik Monk, and Archie Goodwin, who went to SEC schools, and you had to play. It seemed like Kayvon killed you every single year. He's a really good college basketball player, especially against the Arkansas Razorbacks. I think it's easier for me to cheer for a kid when he doesn't go to an SEC institution and he's in state. I have no problem being gung-ho about this guy having success, but it's very hard for me to get on board, as you were saying, with not just a guy that comes to Arkansas and then transfers out, but an in-state kid that goes to an SEC school that you have to play. If you go somewhere else that Arkansas is not playing, then I wish you all the best. And I guess,
but I'm not going to go cheer for them. Are you going to go cheer for KJ? No, I'm not. I mean, you might, but I'm not.
I think
why? Tell me why I would do that.
Oh, it's your own right.
But tell me why you would do that. Let me rephrase. Let me redirect, Your Honor. Why would you cheer for KJ? What good does that do you or your school?
Here's what I would say. So when we look at coaches, right, who have left Arkansas for other schools, and I think that two come to mind for me. I think about Ken Hatfield, and I think about Eddie Sutton. I don't think there's a lot of ill will and hard feelings towards those two guys. Now, the Kentucky comments for the late Coach Sutton aren't great.
I think the better example would be Houston Nutt. Maybe.
Okay. Who resigned.
Who left or quitted, whatever happened there, golden handcuffs, and then goes next day to Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm. And, again, at that point, you weren't going to cheer for him, but now you like to see him on TV. He's not competing against you.
It took a long time for that bridge to be rebuilt.
Yes, but I think with, again, the two coaches that I mentioned, you didn't play Clemson, right?
You didn't play Clemson, but the sentiment in 90 or whatever that year that was that Broyles ran off Hatfield.
Yes, correct.
I think that was a February departure. Because I remember right, it was a really odd time.
And I'm not even a thought of my parents' mind because he wouldn't fire his assistant coaches or he wouldn't change staffs.
Broyles wanted staff changes. Hatfield wouldn't do it. He left to go to Clemson.
And Coach Sutton wanted, when he said...
Which was a huge moment when you look back in the history of Razorback sports.
Should we... Yes, it ended up being very significant.
You hired Jack Crow, and then the whole world changed.
It transitioned. So why do we... I guess the question I'm coming to is, do we hold players and coaches to different standards when they leave Arkansas?
Yes.
Is that fair to do?
I think it's changing, though, because players never... first of all, players used to come to your school, and they'd play 3 or 4 years, and they would hopefully go pro. Now it's, a different world, obviously, in the last 5 years. But coaches, are adults. They're professional. I think we're having to mend and adapt the way we view players compared to the way we did it 10, 20 years ago.
I see it more as a transactional thing. Like, if a good player leaves, let's get a new one in. Like, it hurts, but you can't really you can't focus on it. You just have to.
If Pooh Paul leaves, he's not your only linebacker. Now, maybe last year because they seemingly all left, but you get my point. There's a depth chart in a sport. When the head coach leaves, there is no backup head coach, and there's no other head coach. There is another left tackle. May not be as good as the one that left, but there is another one. So, it's a regime change when a coach leaves. It's a whole different level of importance.
Okay. Let's talk to Jimmy in Conway about this. He's on the McLarty Daniel hotline. Jimmy, welcome into this conversation.
Top of the morning to you, fellas. Hey, I'm going to take this just a little bit different twist on this. Players leaving, going somewhere else. I'm going to tell you about a player that came from Perryville, Arkansas. Small town, not much there. Wanted to be a Hog. Grew up watching the Hogs and was told by the Hogs, you're not good enough for the SEC. Well, Keith Carter went to Mississippi and killed the Hogs. Every year he was there, he was a thorn in our side, and he was a very good player for them. And now he's their athletic director.
Yeah,
and he's still a thorn in our side because he's over there making things happen. All because they thought he wasn't good enough.
Well,
so sometimes this comes back to bite you for years and years, not just the 4 years that they're at the school.
Is that the rule or is that the exception to the rule?
That's not the rule, no.
Yeah.
No, but he was a heck of a player, and it would have been good for us, but didn't work out. We can't get them all. It's not going to happen, but when that young man left, and I knew he wanted to be a Hog, I kind of cheered for him. I wanted him to do well.
Do you cheer for Eli Drinkwitz? On that?
I do.
Whoa.
You do? Oh, you do not? Okay.
I do
All right.
not.
I was
Did
waiting.
he want to be a
Not.
Hog? Did Eli want to be a Hog?
He probably wants to be a Hog. Who wouldn't if you lived in Missouri? Come
That's
on,
true.
man. I mean,
At some
have a
point.
great day, get up.
Hey, Jimmy, that's an
Both good points. Good point by Jimmy, but better point maybe by you. So do you root for Eli?
Yeah.
Hell no.
No, not that he's kicking your tail. But I just thought that was it. I thought those comments were interesting from Tiki Barber. I think again the lines are becoming more and more blurred between the National Football League and college football, and really the professional and collegiate perspectives anywhere else in any sports because of the money aspect. I don't think that it's ever going to be acceptable for college people to be like, yeah, he's dead to me when it comes to a college kid. But because of the money aspect that ties in, I thought that was an intriguing comment that we could bring in here to Fayetteville. All right, it is that time of the morning here on a Tuesday. That means CJ's Trivia Tuesday.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
It's delicious.
There must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
Wouldn't mind a bacon cheeseburger pizza, Tommy, with the fry sauce as the topping, as the base. I think that would be something that I can talk to Keith about, maybe corking up and making one of those someday.
Maybe just put a few French fries on top.
Yes,
yeah.
Just do the whole thing. All right, here is your CJ's Butcher Boy Burger Trivia Tuesday. Duke has some of the dirtiest basketball players in college history, and I actually defended them a couple weeks ago, Kyle Filipowski, and it turns out he was faking it the whole time. Guy played the next game after him and John Shire, former Duke player, now Duke coach, were just talking about, I don't know how severe the injury is, blah, blah, blah. And they just played it like a soap opera. You think about some of the guys that, and by the way, Filipowski tripped a North Carolina player, Harrison Ingram, this past Saturday. Just a dirty player. Grayson Allen. You think about Gerald Henderson, who broke Tyler Hansbrough's nose years ago. Christian Laettner, maybe the most hated Duke player in the history of their program. So I was thinking about all these Duke guys. In 1994, here's your question. You got to call in. Again, 877-377-6963. He is not as notable as some of those other guys I just listed, but who was Duke's center on the 1994 national championship team that you beat in Charlotte, North Carolina? Again, 877-377-6963. The Duke center that Corliss and the rest of the guys clown the majority of that game in the NCAA tournament national championship. And they've had he wasn't as notable as some of the other guys. And I know Billis is the one that is the one that's on display.
So the answer is not Christian Laettner.
No, it's not Christian Laettner. Oh, that's who you lost to in the 1990 Final Four in Denver. Did you watch did you remember that game? Could you tell me what happened during that 1990 game? Because Arkansas
The
got beat.
1990 game?
Yeah, the
I
Final
watched it. Could I remember every detail? No.
It's not as big of a deal. But, I mean, you could probably remember.
It was the national semifinal. It was not the
Correct,
championship
Final
game.
Four.
It was the first game of the day. I do remember that. And I watched it at my then-girlfriend's house as my parents went to a watch party. So I watched it with her and her family.
Okay. I did.
Man, we got some calls.
Yeah, that lit up real quick. All right, Big C, who we
got?
Who we got on line one?
See if we can find us an answer.
Alan and Alma.
All right, Alan is in Alma this morning on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Alan, who is the Duke Center in 1994 that Arkansas beat for the national championship?
Was it Cherokee Park?
That is correct, Alan. Congratulations. You just won yourself a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. Make sure you get your name. I guess we have your name, but get your number to Christian and your address, and we will get that over to you.
Yet.
Yeah.
Put him on hold.
So, again, Alan, that is correct. We got a lot of callers that immediately
hung up.
Yeah, that as soon as they heard that at this point. But Duke is known for it's so frustrating to watch their players because I feel like they have a guy like this every single year. And I remember talking about Filipowski before the game where you really shut him out in the first half when you played him in Bud Walton earlier this season.
He had a much better second half, though.
He was really good in that second half, but he's just one of the latest additions of the dirty players that have come through that basketball program.
Duke always has that player you can't stand. He's easy to hate. Filipowski may be that guy this year.
Yep. J.J. Redick is another one. There's been plenty of them the last 20, 30 years. Bobby Hurley was another guy that drove people nuts in just terms of irritation. But I'll tell you what's not irritating is getting a great burger, fries, and shake at CJ's. 2 locations in Russellville and in Fayetteville. Fayetteville location on Weddington. You can dine in, take it to go, drive through, app, online. You can do all things. Get that delicious chicken sandwich, too. Not just a great burger spot. They also have salads in the Northwest Arkansas location and then the Russellville location off Arkansas Avenue that has been there for quite a number of years. So you can get the burger season. I actually used it last night on my chicken. So even if you want to make CJ's at home, whether it's burgers, whether it's on your chips, whatever you put it on, you can do so with a bottle of that CJ's Butcher Boy Burger seasoning. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. I want to try and see if we can make one of those CJ's pizzas, Tommy. I think that you and me could do something with that.
All we got to do is get the meat, that ground brisket or whatever it is they use over there, and get with it.
I think that's something we could try at some point.
All right, we'll do that. All right, hour 2 coming up. More calls and texts on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. We are brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Best brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley are there. You can get those. Every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, an award-winning service department, and the great personal touch from Chris and Lee J and their staff to make sure your experience from start to finish is always great at Wheels RV. That's one of the reasons I've been voted best of the best year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Warm up with hot preseason savings on your choice of New Holland equipment right now at WT Equipment. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a free loader on compacts. Choose 0% financing or cash back on mid-range tractors and on select hay tools. Or get up to $40,000 cash back on a new T7. No matter the job, hurry into WT Equipment today and shop their huge selection of in-stock inventory. Now is the best time to get a truckload of savings on the trusted quality and efficient power of New Holland Equipment. Offer ends March 31st. Commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification at CNH Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
This is the Morning Rush.
Subiaco in Scranton, if you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco in Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we have the biggest and best selection of premium pre-owned vehicles we've had in years. Many with low miles and those special features you're looking for, and each one road ready certified with warranty. Be sure to ask about the weekly specials that can save you up to $4,000. Road ready certified used cars and savings up to $4,000. Two more reasons all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Hey, I'm Hagen Smith. As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. So sign up now for Pascal's Plan Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the low 70s. Tonight, we may see a few isolated showers. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Overnight, lows will drop down into the mid-50s. Sunny skies on Wednesday. Our high right around 75. Chance of showers and storms Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forsgren Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
this team was a spotlight team. They liked to, when the spotlight was big, when the stage was bright, they rose to the occasion. We saw it with Purdue and Duke early in the year, and we've seen it on a few other occasions along the way. I don't think that's been true all year long. I think there's been times they could do that, then times they couldn't. When Brazil got back to being able to play somewhere near 100%, this was a team that could do that again, and that we've seen that the last couple of weeks.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studio. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Well, that was a fun hour on a Bandwagon Tuesday. Plenty more to get into in hour number 2, including Tommy's comments about this basketball team, which at points this season has been a bright lights team. Eric Musselman has some thoughts on what he's going to do following the conclusion of the season. We'll get into some of those coming up. We talked a bunch of things. We talked pizza toppings and places in hour 1. Our least favorite Duke basketball players, which plenty of texts about Bobby Hurley on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, and plenty of NFL player movement in the National Football League that some are fans of, some aren't. And we'll get into more conversation coming up in hour number 2.
You're bolting out here after the show and headed to Nashville. Where you at? Are you doing the show from somewhere? I figured you conned your way into a free breakfast somewhere tomorrow.
I probably will end up doing that. I have not fully figured that out. It's on I've got this written down as a task.
It's only 23 hours away. Why worry about it now? Yeah.
Well, I'll figure it out.
What would be the
you think
coolest
he's going to pass up a free breakfast? You know,
I want to make sure it's
what do you promise these people when you tell them you'll come do the show there?
Say we're a national ESPN radio show.
You just lie straight through your pearly whites. Huh?
I'm just like, hey, well, I'll be happy to do the show here. Would love to promote your business. I usually just try and find either a place close in proximity to wherever we're doing games or shows. Or
do you tell them up front you expect to be fed for free, or do you just hope
not? They just offer?
So what happens when they bring you the bill at the end?
It's like, usually the manager will step in and say, oh, he doesn't have to. He's fine. Because we build a rapport. Like Jed, for example, we were at Maple Street Biscuit Company in Frisco when I was down there.
That just sounds good. Maple Street Biscuit Company.
It was very good.
It's awkward having to explain your way out of a bill, though.
The manager
for him.
Come on,
for him,
for me.
Do you not? Hey, Big C, let me introduce you to Ty Richardson.
I get embarrassed.
The man that tries to get out of every bill.
I still want it. I still will want it free.
Do you know? We got him a shirt in the back says, "Do you know who I am?" I mean, that's his go-to line.
Let me tell you something. It is a skill of mine to continuously not pay, and I'm known amongst our workforce and our friend group and being a cheap and I'll continue to be frugal
confirmed
for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be able to retire early because of that.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope to be retired by the time you're retired.
There you go.
Anyway. Hey, you will be in Music City. All of our coverage in Nashville beginning tomorrow here on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma. They've been making family dreams come true for over 70 years. Find them online at crabtreerv.com, and by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Expired and unused prescription medications pose a public safety risk. Safeguard lives and protect the environment by participating in Take Back Day. It's coming up April 27th. Find a convenient collection site near you at deatakeback.com. Everything from you talk about bright lights, the bright lights of Nashville, Tennessee. Hopefully last more than a day or two for the Arkansas Razorbacks beginning tomorrow.
So Derek and Zach and DQ don't have to do a show.
So what were they saying yesterday? I didn't hear this part.
They were just saying they don't have to do a show if Arkansas wins on Wednesday.
So if Arkansas, yeah, that's right, because they would play it like 2:45, so that means probably a 2 o'clock airtime. So here's the poll question for this morning. We have the Morning Rush Daily question in about 10 minutes. Let me get ahead of this. Should they be paid? If they don't have to do a show tomorrow, should they be paid for tomorrow?
No, absolutely not.
vacation day? Just that way they don't lose any money?
No, they just shouldn't be paid.
No pay at all. No mercy from you, huh? No.
No.
What do you think, Big C?
Yeah, no payments.
Oh, wow. Man.
You pay DQ.
B.E. in Clarksville says he votes for pay.
You pay DQ, just don't pay the other
Pay
two.
DQ, just not the other two?
Just not
All
the
right.
other two. Let's
You
see.
know, maybe there's some floors that need scrubbing, or what? Maybe I should find them another task.
There's plenty of stuff they can do. They're
We will find them some other work.
They're big
right?
show guys. They do their show and then they go home. Big show guys.
Big show guys.
No, they'll do their show and then they'll go home.
So if there's no show to do, you're saying there's no work to do.
And they won't even show up. Yeah, they'll just stay. They'll stay home instead of go home.
Staff meeting? Maybe we should call a staff meeting tomorrow.
At their show time.
Yeah.
So they have to be at
Yep.
work.
Yep.
I'm not against it. There will not be a lot of work done by them too next week during the NCAA tournament. Our show is at least next Thursday, and you're going to be on vacation. But next Thursday and Friday, our show is at least prior to the NCAA tournament, so it's not really going to affect me at all. But
Taking the kid, I mean, my kids are at that age that there's not very many more spring breaks with kids left, so I want to take advantage. So I'm going to be out next week, but I'm going to be in Vegas for part of my trip, but it's not the part where the games are actually being played. So I kind of want. We're going for the first part, and then we're going down to Arizona for a few days. But I'll be keeping up. But
Sedona, or where y'all going?
Yeah, Flagstaff, Sedona.
You got to play golf and leave the kids.
I don't think so. I haven't asked about that yet, but I don't think I will.
Yeah, it's like
hauling the clubs and the kids and all that through an airport.
And I will say
probably
this,
more now, and I get to play a lot of golf now.
And that too, but you can't cite like I want to spend time with the kids with memories and then
Right.
go off and play gallivant
True.
and play golf by
It's just
yourself.
true.
That is something you can make them. Austin and Ozark says you could make them.
Oh, now
as
that's
against
Ben
appearance
in
on-
Little Rock. That is an outstanding. There we go. They're on YouTube now.
Oh,
They could do a YouTube only show during the game and comment live. There we go. We found them an assignment there you go, Zach. I hope you're listening. We have found you some work to do if the Hogs win. We found you some Thursday work.
Skeeter says you better take care of your best show host. I don't know who that's in reference to.
We
Skeeter.
take very good care of Matt Jones
DQ.
and Phil.
I was
and
gonna say DQ, but
Yeah.
whoever that is, yes, I don't think they should be doing.
That is a great idea.
The YouTube
The
thing.
YouTube only show, and they could react if I told them they could use foul language on there. They'd be all about it, wouldn't they?
Not FCC restricted.
No, but it's
when
grandma restricted. What? Don't say anything your grandma wouldn't be proud of.
I will say Christian does the YouTube in the morning, and he has when we upload the settings, it says, "Is this for kids?" We always say no because then chat's allowed. So you want the chat allowed. So, but at the same time, for Ruskin and Zach and DQ, you want it to be kids.
So
for
should that
kids.
now be the Morning Rush daily question? Should we make Ruskin and Zach do a YouTube show during the game?
I think it's going to be a 99% yes.
That way they can learn the new technology. I know that Zach he's older. He's in his 50s now. He's got a lot of gray hair. It's very difficult for him to pick up on new technology. So, maybe another couple of turns in the batter's box would get him going.
I don't think there's going to be anyone that pushes back on the idea of them having.
Do you want a Ruskin and Zach? Of course, the first thing we got to have is what to make this happen. We got to have a Razorback win over Vanderbilt.
Yes.
It's like you've forgotten about that part.
It starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow with a
At
win.
6 o'clock.
We got to have a win first
Against the Doors.
Boys, don't make plans quite yet for your Thursday afternoon.
Even Muss wouldn't speculate past Vandy.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yesterday.
I wouldn't make a lot of speculations past Vandy. All right, all the lines will be coming out very soon for all the SEC tournament and all the college conference games. You can find those at the Bet Saracen app. If you don't have that on your phone, tablet, or computer, download that in the Apple App Store. Go to betsaracen.com and find it for Google and for the Androids out there. So get that and be ready to go for March Madness, which begins in our neck of the woods tomorrow, and hopefully a run here by the Razorbacks in Nashville. But I know regardless, it's going to be a lot of fun for March Madness. That's the Bet Saracen app. Get it on your phone, tablet, or computer now. Watch all the cool videos on how to use it and have more fun at betsaracen.com.
So we will get in that Morning Rush daily question coming up. Also, talk to Bruce Stanton of Pradco Fishing.
Coverage of the 2024 SEC Tournament in Nashville, Tennessee is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Family owned and operated and making your family dreams come true for over 70 years. Always online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Dispose of your surplus prescription drugs with no questions asked. Join us for Take Back Day on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find a convenient collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com.
Warm up with hot preseason savings on your choice of New Holland equipment right now at WT Equipment. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a free loader on compacts. Choose 0% financing or cash back on mid-range tractors and on select hay tools. Or get up to $40,000 cash back on a new T7. No matter the job, hurry into WT Equipment today and shop their huge selection of in-stock inventory. Now is the best time to get a truckload of savings on the trusted quality and efficient power of New Holland equipment. Offer ends March 31st. Commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification at CNH Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our number one volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
It's 2024. Let's go see what's new at the Golf Nut. Peen G430 Max 10K driver. Peen's straightest and most forgiving driver. TaylorMade QI 10 Max woods and irons with 10K inertia, making it the most forgiving driver ever. And Cleveland Launcher XL2 woods and irons. Call Matt Brooks for a lesson, 646-4430. And start a new year with more confidence on the course. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials. Tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Are you looking for a change of scenery? Lavorne Lumber is looking to hire a Class A CDL flatbed driver for a regional position. Lavorne Lumber is highly competitive in pay. Lavorne Lumber is a family-owned lumber and trucking company. Home most nights and every single weekend. Guaranteed. Lavorne Lumber has top-of-the-line equipment. If you're interested in the job, stop by Lavorne Lumber at 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, Monday through Friday from 9 to 4.
Live coverage of the 2024 SEC Tournament in Nashville, Tennessee is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Elma, Arkansas. Family owned and operated and making your family dreams come true for over 70 years. Always online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Dispose of your surplus prescription drugs with no questions asked. Join us for Take Back Day on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find a convenient collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The corporal will wait for an answer.
So this is all contingent upon tomorrow night's game against the Vanderbilt Commodores, which you have not fared well against Jerry Stackhouse since Eric Musselman arrived. It's kind of odd to say that you think have the same record against Cal as you do Stackhouse. But nevertheless, Arkansas takes on Vanderbilt tomorrow night. And our Morning Rush Daily Question, if Arkansas was to win that game, and on radio, Derek and Zach were not required to do a show, should they have to do a social video show on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch, as we welcome in Bruce Stanton and Pradco Fishing this morning. That was a good question posed by Tommy.
So, yeah, if the game interrupts their show, what would you do if this was Pradco and they were making those Smithwick original, or making those Bobby Garland Baby Shad? How would you handle that?
Well, you're paying them, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, then they need to do something. So I like when you said, man, we got brooms at Pradco. We got all kinds of things. We got boxes.
Can you imagine a broom being put in Zach Arn's hands?
You're paying everybody,
right?
And if circumstance like the machine's not working, I mean, you don't get to go kick your feet up. You do something else.
That's your job, right?
Your manager. That's my job.
Yeah.
Well, I do that in the boat.
Yeah.
But you're being paid to do a job. You do the job.
This is sage advice here.
Skeeter says that in their defense, Ty's going, so there will not be an Arkansas win. Business as usual on Thursday.
He does have a good point.
Rick from Fayetteville says if Ty gets paid to travel all over the country, then yeah, you need to pay them for tomorrow. No.
Well,
it's work. It's work.
What are you pay them? What are they going to do during that time?
I think people. Your travel's not glamorous. You're driving a sedan down I-40, right?
Yeah,
he does have to drive between Little Rock and Memphis.
That's the worst. That's the worst drive. It's truck traffic that makes it so bad.
And I enjoy road trips.
Terrible drive.
Yeah, and we were talking about
they drag race 58 miles an hour through the prairie.
That's fast.
That's pushing it. We talk about the stretch between Little Rock and Memphis being the worst in the United States of America.
I hate that drive.
Oh, you won't drive to Nashville anymore?
My parents live there. I fly.
You just get that. The Allegiant XNA to BNA flight is one of the best flights in the United States. It is $200 and it gets you there.
I did that for Media Days last year.
It is nice. It is not bad. And we haven't gotten any. Tommy, I know we were pushing Southwest coming to XNA. I don't know if we've gotten an update on that.
Please.
You don't think that's? Oh, you're saying please?
No, please. I want that to happen.
Yes, that would be nice to have Southwest in Northwest Arkansas here to be able to fly to more places, direct flights. But yes, it is one. So again, sounds like you're saying they should work. Sounds like I'm saying they should work.
The texters are all saying either work or don't get paid.
I think that's fair.
I like the idea that Bruce has. We'll see what Zach thinks. Put a broom in their hand.
That place is.
God, look how messy this studio is.
Well, that's Ty. Now this one's Ty's fault.
This is terrible.
Well, unfortunately, I'm leaving after the show, so I won't be able to tend to the dust-filled studio.
There's sawdust on the floor.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's like the old Barnhill.
What was that old restaurant we had in Fort Smith that had the sawdust on the floor? Down there at the corner of Rogers and 5.
You're asking the wrong person.
Oh, you're where you throw the peanuts on the floor? Yeah. What was the name of that place?
That's what it looks like.
Colton's?
No, it wasn't. It's like that.
Yeah.
But you actually threw the peanut shells.
Yeah, on the floor.
My dad loved that place.
Everybody loved it, but it failed.
I was going to say, you're asking the wrong person that question. But it sounds like, based on the text, based on Bruce, Tommy, and myself, that they should have to work in some way, shape, or form tomorrow. Social media show.
I'll let you deal with
and
that.
And the janitor question, whatever the case may be. I mean, here's the reality. They should want to work. You have the privilege of coming on Arkansas Sports Talk, not radio waves in this case, but...
So were they really stumping to get out of work?
It's Logan.
I didn't hear that.
Is that what it was? Yeah. They were pushing it pretty heavy yesterday. So a little disappointed in those three. That really wasn't those three.
Well,
those
that's
two.
the first time ever, right?
It's hard to be disappointed in DQ, but a little disappointed in two what I would consider radio guys through and through.
They're going to rake us over the coals today. I am so looking forward to it.
Well, I've got a 7-hour car ride that I can listen on the Hit That Line Now app that I will be listening intently.
Have you downloaded that yet?
Do what?
Have you the Hit That Line Now app? Have you put that on your phone?
Well, I'm old school. I do it on the internet.
Oh no, we got a much better way now.
Yeah, I can listen to y'all anywhere on the internet.
You just plop it on hitthatline.com.
I do.
I will say it's
you can drive anywhere and plug that into your speaker and hear y'all.
Now, we'll get you that app. We'll hook you up here in a minute. Go to just Apple App Store. You got an Apple, don't you? Or you got an Android? Either way.
Dr. Tyler said
is that like a deal breaker for you in a relationship? I think it is with most people. If you see
my wife has an Apple, so
and you have an I mean if you have an Android,
I don't know anybody that's got an Android.
See, that's what I mean. Deal breaker. So
it throws off the group text.
It does. We got a group text with like 30-something people, and we need to add more. But then you put an Android in there, and it limits it.
There's one guy that he hasn't fallen into peer pressure.
Yeah.
And he probably just gets raked against the coals like you're talking about Ruskin and Zach with us later. It is.
Didn't they ask? I think they asked DQ that one afternoon if something about he's a 10, but he has an Android. He's now 6.
What did she say? She dropped him down 4 points. Oh my gosh, jeez!
I've heard women say that's a deal breaker. They start seeing the where it won't go ... and the green comes up. I'm done.
And they're out.
I'm out.
All right. Well, I have a lot of things going against me, but the Android is not one of them. I do have an iPhone, luckily enough, and that is again your Morning Rush Daily Question presented by Red River Dodge in Heber Springs. Should Ruskin and Zach do some sort of work tomorrow? Not necessarily DQ, but she can get paid regardless.
Manual labor.
Ruskin and Zach.
All right, that's your Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge is in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
So the SEC awards come out pretty chalky from what we thought. Don Connect wins the Player of the Year. Lamont Paris wins Coach of the Year. You have Reed Shepard wins Freshman of the Year. Ziegler wins Defensive Player of the Year. And then Dillingham wins Sixth Man of the Year. Not really. When I saw this list, I was like, okay, that was what we thought. That was what. There weren't really any surprises on this, I felt like.
No, they did go with the chalk. That's the way it should have gone. Hey, Sean East was the Scholar Athlete of the Year from Missouri. So when you wear the donut, you get the Scholar Athlete Award.
They outside of him, Missouri not really represented anywhere else. He could have been one of the more improved players of the year based on his points per game last year to this year. But those are the overall players. First team was Mark Sears, Jedi Broom, the Poland kid from Florida, Antonio Reeves from Kentucky, Dalton Connect, Ziegler, both from Tennessee, Tolu Smith, and then Wade Taylor from Texas A&M. So you got several guys for a 5-team squad. That's whatever. But again, this weekend you're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Hopefully, knock on wood, it's more me.
I mean, we obviously with and I think it would make for the best game. But current company considered Tennessee versus who in the championship game? What would make the most entertaining?
Kentucky
2.5 hours.
That'd be the rubber match.
I think so.
That's the one. I don't even know if Tennessee.
I don't trust
will get
Bama
there.
in there, and I don't think Auburn could hold up with either side.
No,
and I need to, Hogs aren't in. I haven't really studied the bracket, since I don't expect them to be around.
I feel like you always do when Arkansas is good. It's like I don't really win a game and get out of there. Let's go try to get
particularly in baseball.
Do you want to win this week though for the #1 seed with North Carolina kind of coming up the rear and that win that they have head to head?
That's how I'm looking at it. We're either going to be #1 with Carolina as the 5 as the 2, or we're going to be 2 with Carolina as the 1. So in my mind, if you make it that far, you're going to play them anyway. But 1-16 is a lot easier than 2-15. As you progress, the 1 seed is what you want to be, but I don't know. I think the problem is when you lose to Kentucky and then they go back and look at the North Carolina beat y'all. So that unless they lose in the ACC tournament, they're probably at number 1.
See, Ty, I just think a lot of that heavy lifting's been done. I don't think Tennessee could be knocked down to anything other than maybe the number 2 overall seed.
Yeah,
it would be a 1 seed, but be the number. It's kind of like, a semester of work. One quiz at the end for 10 points isn't going to change the grade in all likelihood. So I don't think one game for Tennessee, even if they went and whoever they'd end up playing in their first game, if they lost narrowly, I don't think it's taking them off the 1 line.
Probably put them in Memphis that first and second week, or the first weekend.
I think a lot of that's been.
I don't want them in Memphis because then I'm going to spend more money that I don't need to spend.
Just going there.
I've already been to 3 road games this year. It's just I need to chill.
And you said you wouldn't go until they made a Final Four potentially in Arizona, right?
I've already lied. I'm going to Nashville. So.
Okay, yeah, that's why I wasn't going to bring that up, but I just
surely there's there's a bait and tackle store you can call on over there. So.
They got a thing called Bass Pro Shop over there.
Yeah. There's a little work. Somehow I'm making it to Nashville for work.
Hey, you could ride with Ty.
Yeah.
I'll pick up the tab on that gas. Okay. Get you some Little Rock to Memphis.
It's not too bad of a drive. So Tennessee's going to be on top as we.
He'll let you control the phone, the music on the phone.
Yeah, we can just listen to Ruskin and Zach later on. All right, let's get into our Pradco Pyramid of Power this morning.
Who are the best basketball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
It's kind of like getting to the end of that semester. Like I said, one little quiz isn't going to change a lot. When you look at the standings and where they're at and kind of where the Pradco Pyramid of Power is, not a lot of movement. You can almost take the C line. Tennessee's at the top of the Pradco Pyramid of Power. How do you argue that? They wrapped up middle of the week last week. They're the number 1 seed in the SEC tournament. They got the best player not only in the country or in the conference, but maybe in the country with Dalton Connect. He's 12th nationally in scoring at 21.4 points per game. Tennessee, I don't think there's even a discussion, is at the top of the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
There isn't. Can you imagine this time last year, Dalton Connect was getting ready to play in the Big Sky tournament for Northern Colorado.
Talk about diamonds in the rough.
Wow.
That is one. Where would Tennessee's season be without him if he'd chosen anywhere else?
Arkansas.
We probably, Tennessee was a top 10 team. Phil Ziegler got hurt last year. Made the Sweet 16. I'd say that they'd still be decent, but not SEC champs.
Probably not. I got Kentucky number 2, 23-8 on the year, 13-5. Antonio Reeves averaged just over 20 points per game. They've proven it. We talked a minute ago about what would be the ultimate SEC tournament championship matchup. Tennessee, Kentucky would be a great. I hope they both want to get there. I don't know how much either has to play for, particularly Tennessee, but that would probably be the most entertaining TV we could see on Sunday.
Well, I told my son Cole, Tennessee didn't have anything to play for in Knoxville. Just you could tell the intensity wasn't there till right at the end when they made that push. But Kentucky's won 5 straight. They're starting to gel. Those freshmen, Shepard and Dillingham, are looking awesome. Kentucky's flaw, they don't have a dominant big man that can score, and that'll probably catch them at some point, like it has throughout the course of the year. They did lose 5 games, but they're coming in hot, 5 in a row.
Alabama and Auburn split in the regular season. Both end up with 13-5 records, the same as Kentucky, by the way, in the SEC standings. I went with Alabama in the 3 spot. I just think they're scoring 1 million points a game, and they're just tough. I like Alabama and Mark Sears, so I went with Alabama at 3 and Auburn at 4.
See, I had that same question. Tigers have the best SEC record, the best record in the SEC at home, 15-1. They've won 3 in a row. Alabama lost 2 out of 3. Should have lost to Arkansas down the stretch. I think Auburn's playing better. I had them number 3.
All right, so we flip-flop 3 and 4. This was the one I contemplate a little more. South Carolina and Florida at 5 and 6. I don't have anyone else you can really move up there. Maybe A&M at this point is your next team in just because of some of the wins they've had this year. I went with South Carolina at 5 and Florida at 6. Conference record at 13-5. They're technically, I guess, tied for second in the conference. Michie Johnson was their leading scorer at 14.5. Carolina at 5, Florida at 6 with an 11-7 conference record for the Gators.
Yeah, I mean, I had Carolina at 5. Actually considered them a little higher. They were 25-6. They obviously got the coach of the year in Lamont Paris. They did lose to Tennessee midweek, but responded by going down to Starkville and winning there. But, Mississippi State lost 4 straight at the end of the year, probably played themselves out of the tournament.
So you look at it, Tennessee at 14-4, then Kentucky, Bama, Auburn, South Carolina, all 13-5. Florida, I think, is playing as well as some of those teams at times. They're 11-7.
Lost to Vanderbilt.
And then they lose to Vanderbilt.
They lose to,
Who loses to Vanderbilt?
That's a great question. But hey, what do we?
Both of you.
What did we say before the season? Though it would probably take 13 or 14 wins to win the SEC, and sure enough, Tennessee 14 wins.
I lay all that out to just ask this question: are we in maybe for the best SEC tournament we've had in a while, as far as with all that parity? With all these teams, I think a lot of teams from Alabama, Auburn, South Carolina, Florida, still something to play for, to prove maybe to the committee. And I'm talking out both sides of my mouth. I think Tennessee has proved it. I think maybe if one of those teams get to the championship game and win it, maybe they move up a seed line or two with an SEC tournament championship. Are we in for maybe the best SEC basketball tournament we've had in some time?
I mean, you could. This is my fear because we all hate Kentucky together. They're going to put on a run and win the SEC tournament, what I think. And I think they're going to go up to a 2 on the seed line.
So, of the teams not in the Pradco Pyramid of Power, A&M, LSU, who else would we want to throw in? Who is the most likely team out of the rest of the league to make this semifinals?
A&M's done it like the last 2 years in the tournament. They've proven, and Buzz has proven with a poor team or a team that doesn't perform in the regular season, he knows how to win 4 games in a row, and they could do it. They've beaten Tennessee and Kentucky. Couldn't beat Arkansas. Got swept by Arkansas, but they got. Wade Taylor, he can score 40 any night.
All right, so who's in the championship game on Sunday?
South Carolina, Kentucky.
Wow, I did not expect you to say that. Yeah. You just don't think the intensity is going to be there from Tennessee?
It's going to be there.
Even with the chance to lock up a 1 seed?
No, we just do better when I pick against them.
Is Nashville in your own backyard? I guess you count Nashville. I mean, it's got to be a pro-Tennessee crowd, right?
Yes, it's a lot like Barnhill South, Reunion Arena used to be. Those Kentucky fans, they find out how to get tickets. Yeah. That place turns blue by the semifinals.
But won't Tennessee keep that from completely happening this
year? They're Kentucky fans. They know how to get. It's like Arkansas going to Reunion Arena.
I understand, but
it's the strangest thing. Like, Tommy, I'm telling you this.
Oh, I've seen it. I've been there for it.
What's so aggravating, I had a bartender tell me this, is their management, a lot of those bars on Broadway, their management will make them wear Kentucky stuff throughout the week. And that irked me in the worst of ways when I heard that.
Turn them over to the labor board.
Yeah, seriously. Like, why would you?
Cruel and unusual punishment. Yeah.
So that's, again, even though they're both about 3, Knox is 3 hours from Nashville, Lexington's 3 hours from Nashville. They're equal in distance. You would just think Tennessee would have that being in state, but it's not that way.
But just think about it. If you live in rural Kentucky, going to Nashville is a big deal. You get to get out of Kentucky and
Good point.
Go spend your money and, go to a nice place for once,
Stop by Sam's, all that stuff.
Stop by Sam's. The Sam's in, I don't know if there's another one. When I lived there, the Sam's closed down next to me. So I don't even know if they have a Sam's in Nashville anymore. At least the one by my house closed down.
I bet they do.
Might be another one.
I bet you they've got more than one.
There's probably, that place is grown. It's about as crazy. It's like Nashville, Northwest Arkansas, and Denver are 3 of like the top 5, top 10 fastest growing areas in the country. It's crazy how much NWA is growing at the pace that we're at right now.
It's only going to get faster as the Walmart campus nears completion.
I saw that. I saw a video of that, Tommy. That looks about as crazy it gets.
All you got to do is drive up the road a few minutes and get off on one of the Bentonville exits and head west a little bit, and you'll run into it.
Do we have ESPN Arkansas campus plans at some point in the...
Well, I don't know that we got anything planned quite like they've got. Yeah. With billions
investment.
billions invested. So, all right, that's the Pradco Pyramid of Power. Everything right on there this week?
Yeah, Tennessee's number 1.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at this week, and we'll follow this through the tournament. I want to get a week or two of baseball under our belt in conference, but I hadn't paid any attention to many other teams in the SEC in baseball to this point. And we start conference play this weekend. We'll get a little better sense of who's what.
Just rip off the top 10 and throw out the 4 non-conference schools, and there's 6 SEC schools there.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be the place to start, right? Yeah. LSU and Arkansas 1, LSU 2.
The thing that always bugs me about baseball, there's 15 top 20 polls. I just, how can a sport that has as few eyeballs on it as college baseball have that many polls?
Follow the D1 baseball one. That's probably the way to go.
I think there's a few, but yeah, and I think it is confusing. I think they do need to consolidate, and maybe someone does. I don't follow it close enough. Averages all those polls out. I don't know what you do. I'm not the one to answer the question, but it is a little bit confusing and frustrating.
I know 8. I don't like the RPI. I was looking at all the polls because I was thinking you might want to do a baseball, and I was like, Tennessee wasn't in the RPI, like not even in it because the schedule's been so weak, but there's 6 in the other polls. So I'm like, well, let's not use the RPI.
Did you hear Dave's comments a week or so, maybe it's 2 or 3 weeks ago at the Swatters Club, that's 2 teams in Orange are going to come into Fayetteville next year? Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about that.
So it sounds like, I mean, he was like, this may or he said something to the extent of this may or may not happen, but there's supposedly 2 Orange teams.
They're not playing them this year, so it makes sense.
That'll be a fun. That was a fun series a couple years ago, and it should be
not that they need help boosting attendance, but that would kind of ensure a packed crowd.
No question.
All right, fishing time. Weather's warming up. I guess the water temperatures have warmed up a little bit. So what do we do right now?
Well,
what's going to fill the box?
Fishing's good right now. I'll talk about that a little bit, but the big thing is the Bassmaster Classic's coming to Tulsa Grand Lake next week. So we got 3 of our fishermen with Team Pradco, Team Booyah and Yum. Jason Christie from Park Hill, Oklahoma, who's won the Classic at Grand, Luke Palmer from Colgate, Oklahoma, and Stetson Blaylock from Benton, Arkansas. So those 3 guys are going to be representing us in the Bassmaster Classic next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday weigh-ins at the BOK Center, downtown Tulsa. And there'll be a show. We're going to have an 80-foot booth with Booyah and Yum. A lot of our pros. Bill Dance will be there. And there'll probably be 80 to 90,000 people over 3 days. It's a pre-show downtown Tulsa at the convention center. So if you're into bass fishing and you're into tournament fishing, that'll be something to come check out. Fish are getting shallow. Obviously, Bandit 200 is a great crankbait to use when you're searching for fish. We're using Booyah Covert Finesse spinnerbaits and white, just a white color with 2 willow blades right now. In colder water, maybe a tandem with a Colorado willow tandem. But come see us at the Bassmaster Classic and get out and throw a spinnerbait and a crankbait, and you'll catch some fish right now.
All right, you can find that at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. Going to head up and do some trout fishing. If you're headed to the river, maybe the White River in Gaston's, what would you take to Gaston's right now?
Well, you need to have a Rogue, original suspending rattling Rogue, chrome blue, chrome black clown are great colors if they're running water. If they're not running a lot of water, use something smaller like a Rebel Track Down, TD10 or TD47. We make one model with barbless hooks so you can fish the special regs areas. That way fly fishermen like Clay won't get too upset at you. But
or the game warden.
Yeah, but you want to sink in minnow in that flowing water. It kind of gets down in the strike zone, and you can catch a lot of trout on that light line with a sinking minnow.
All right, Bruce, good to see you. Hey, make your reservations at Gaston's, 870-431-5202. Restaurants open. You can make reservations at that same number. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner overlooking the White River as well. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Live coverage of the 2024 SEC Tournament in Nashville, Tennessee is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Family owned and operated and making your family dreams come true for over 70 years. Always online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Dispose of your surplus prescription drugs with no questions asked. Join us for Take Back Day on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find a convenient collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com.
Warm up with hot preseason savings on your choice of New Holland equipment right now at WT Equipment. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a free loader on compacts. Choose 0% financing or cash back on mid-range tractors and on select hay tools. Or get up to $40,000 cash back on a new T7. No matter the job, hurry into WT Equipment today and shop their huge selection of in-stock inventory. Now is the best time to get a truckload of savings on the trusted quality and efficient power of New Holland equipment. Offer ends March 31st. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification at C&H Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Great to be on here with you guys. I think you guys do awesome work, and I really enjoy listening to you.
Free Diamond Madness this March at the Diamond Center. During the month of March, Diamond Center is giving away a free live-grown diamond with the purchase of any natural earth-grown diamond, 1 carat or larger, or with the purchase of any qualifying in-stock setting. All you have to do is pick out the perfect engagement ring, and we'll take care of the rest. All backed by our free lifetime warranty. This is a can't-miss opportunity. Don't miss out on free Diamond Madness the entire month of March, only at the Diamond Center, celebrating a legacy of love.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is the reigning champion of my own conference, Robert.
You do realize that's not a thing.
Well, I did receive a plaque commemorating that accomplishment.
Yeah, and I was elected the president of Mars. Anyway, Hog fans, it's that time again.
It's baseball season. And Hog fans, the Stadium Shop has everything you need for Razorback baseball.
From t-shirts, sweatshirts, man cave stuff, and even a Razorback original, the Bases Loaded beer hats.
Plus, ladies, as well as a restocked women's section, we have the Bases Loaded beer stein boppers.
Yeah, it's kind of like those old-time space alien antennas, you know?
Yeah, well, not really.
So when you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road, next door to Baum Walker Stadium, or you can shop us on them WW Interweb Facegram. You get it, Matthew.
Dad, do you mean the website?
Yeah.
Which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
As always,
go Hogs!
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we have the biggest and best selection of premium pre-owned vehicles we've had in years. Many with low miles and those special features you're looking for, and each one road ready certified with warranty. Be sure to ask about the weekly specials that can save you up to $4,000. Road ready certified used cars and savings up to $4,000. 2 more reasons all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Hey, I'm Hagen Smith. As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. Sign up now for Pascal's Plan Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Subiaco in Scranton, if you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco in Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So the Arkansas Razorbacks will take on Vanderbilt tomorrow night with the opportunity to play South Carolina, 2:45, 3 on Thursday, depending on how the first game shakes out before. And how this is going to play out is not just contingent on Arkansas winning the first game, but the depth that they could foreseeably have to go to. Here was Muss when asked about that question, using that depth the more you advance in the SEC tournament.
The further you advance, depth can become more of a factor. And certainly guys like Layden Blocker. I mean, Layden has practiced really hard and staying ready to play. And that's what you need to do. You know, if you're not getting the reps in a game, you know, it's important to stay mentally focused and get the reps and work on your cardiovascular. And I do think we have some guys that first one in the building, those guys that are doing that type of stuff, they're staying ready to play. And like I said, any team that's fortunate enough to advance, rotations can alter with each extra game that you have to play.
So that is, again, the thought. He kind of started the thing. It's like, we're only focused on Vanderbilt, and he did the classic coach response, and then he went into the explanation at this point. I mentioned this yesterday. So we hadn't seen Keon Midfield. We hadn't seen Jalen Graham, who Chuck basically confirmed yesterday is good to play. And we hadn't seen Layden Blocker. Layden Blocker apparently is practicing still pretty hard. If they are going to make, and I'm just talking about a run to Friday. I'm not talking about a run to Sunday. But even a run to Friday, you're probably going to have to play some guys that you haven't played the last 4 or 5 games.
All right, to end up at 500, you got to win 2 to get to 17-16 because unless you win the whole thing, you're going to lose your last one, obviously. So you'd have to win Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then maybe you fall Saturday to get to a game above 500. And I know for Muss, I would think he takes a lot of personal pride in not letting that streak in his career end. But, these are also the kind of things and the results that can fuel you for the future. But, if that matters to you or that's something you're playing for, that's what's got to happen to be at or above 500.
Yeah, and in order to beat Vanderbilt, you're going to have to play a lot better than what you did last time. And part of the reason you lost this past game is giving up a lot of offensive rebounds, which the Commodores had some success against Florida this weekend. Here was Muss talking about that.
Florida's one of the biggest teams in the SEC, and you look at the offensive rebounding numbers in Vanderbilt's last game. That's a lot of offensive rebounds they got as a team against what I consider as good a rebounding team, maybe in our league. But Lubin, he did a great job reacting to rebounds. If Manjon and Lawrence get into the teeth of the defense and are able to give dump-off passes and your bigs help, certainly that creates issues. We've got to have better smashes, was what we call it on the weak side.
They did not do a great job stopping the penetration last time from Vanderbilt, and that led to a lot of easy buckets from Lubin or offensive rebounds that he was able to clean up in that game. Last year, I'm forgetting the kid in Nashville that torched you, had a really big second half. Chuck said it earlier yesterday, and I'm forgetting his name, but Lubin's the guy that you have to worry about on the glass, and hopefully they're able to do that tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, right here on ESPN Arkansas, and of course on the SEC Network. Got some confirmation from ESPN and SEC Network. I was reading this from Whole Hog Sports that the spring game, Tommy, is going to be on streaming on April the 13th, so it's not going to be on any cable package, but you can stream it on ESPN Plus and the SEC Network.
Yeah, that'll be the day for the spring game. We've known that. I know they're going to have a memorial service for Dean Weber as part of the weekend with all the Letterman coming in. It's always almost a homecoming weekend for Letterman every year, and they have a big dinner on that Friday night. So this one's going to be a little bit different, I think, because of Dean's passing. Then I think you'll see a good contingent of those guys, and hopefully a good crowd. I think people are, as we'll see how the storylines unfold over the next month about the offense and Bobby Petrino and what's happening there. I think maybe you'll have I'm not saying 30,000, but maybe you'll have a little bit noticeably larger crowd in person than you've had the last few years for spring games.
Last thing here in your Hog update, Arkansas baseball, according to D1, is the number one team in the country. Poll just came out yesterday. I think it was like 6 or 7 of the polls you were ranked number one. We were mentioning, I think there's 8 total polls. We were joking with Bruce about that, the number of baseball polls that you have to keep track of. I would use the one that NCAA uses, which is D1, which has your team as number one. I'm on the bandwagon of having the number one seed heading into the NCAA tournament if it gets to that point. And I say that point again, good grief. But if it gets there, I think that Arkansas has to do it in the craziest way possible to win the national championship, and that would just be another hurdle that they have to accomplish, which to me, they're going to have to do it in an unorthodox way to get over the national championship hump. And I like that. A lot of you don't, which I get, but
I know that's
where I'm coming from.
It's a thought in the back of all of our minds, and there's certainly no reason to believe this program can't, this coach can't, this talent can't. But I'm not going to put my mind in that mode in March.
Just yet.
Nope. In fact, I'd like to think, and I'll not be disciplined enough to do this, I'd like to think I could hold off on those thoughts till June. But I don't think that'll be possible.
After.
I've just seen so many times how not just Arkansas, but other great teams like Tennessee and others we've seen in our league lately falter. And sometimes Ole Miss and Mississippi State, who are not the best teams all year, still win it. This sport, while being talented and having depth and having starting pitching, yes, it's very important. Sometimes luck is maybe the more important value you've got to have in June to win this thing.
Andy does not like being number one. He hates that idea. Texting on the McLarty Daniel hotline. Luck definitely has something to do with it. No pushback from me whatsoever on that thought. All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. It is brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with Benny Malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
It is Girl Scouts Day. When is
Thin Mint cookies. That's when you say Girl Scouts, I think cookies.
And that was what I highlighted. Thin Mints. That is my favorite. You got Samoas, Tagalongs, s'mores. I can't think of the last time that I've had
the Tagalongs are the ones filled with peanut butter, right?
Yes. Whoa. I can't think of the last time that I've had Girl Scout cookies. Now, I have friends that have daughters, nieces, granddaughters that are starting to get to the age where they're entering the Girl Scouts or they're selling the cookies. We'll be happy to buy some. I don't know what season, if that's like an all-season long thing or if that's something only at certain parts of the year, but I can't remember the last time I've had
Walmart
a delicious
has
Thin Mint.
Some of those, yeah, I mean, you put those in two of those in the freezer and go to town.
Oh, that's the way to go.
Oh, absolutely. So I think Walmart has some knockoff stuff, but the Girl Scout cookies are the best.
They're not the same.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of something good to chow down on, it is Taco Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Hogs play Oral Roberts later today. They'll have that up on the TVs. Always half-price apps and taps. Don't forget that tomorrow is Nacho Average Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, and then one of the favorite days of the week, Fajita Friday. They char grill their own steak after marinate it. Do the same thing with the chicken. You'll feel you'll taste the difference with the full flavor of the char grilled steak and chicken on Fajita Friday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products.
See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Warm up with hot preseason savings on your choice of New Holland equipment right now at WT Equipment. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a free loader on compacts. Choose 0% financing or cash back on mid-range tractors and on select hay tools. Or get up to $40,000 cash back on a new T7. No matter the job, hurry into WT Equipment today and shop their huge selection of in-stock inventory. Now is the best time to get a truckload of savings on the trusted quality and efficient power of New Holland Equipment. Offer ends March 31st. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification at CNH Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
Tommy Craft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is The Morning Rush.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith. Perhaps the world.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the low 70s. Tonight, we may see a few isolated showers. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Overnight, lows will drop down into the mid-50s. Sunny skies on Wednesday. Our high right around 75. Chance of showers and storms Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
This team was a spotlight team. They liked to, when the spotlight was big, when the stage was bright, they rose to the occasion. We saw it with Purdue and Duke early in the year, and we've seen it on a few other occasions along the way. I don't think that's been true all year long. I think there's been times they could do that, then times they couldn't. When Brazil got back to being able to play somewhere near 100%, this was a team that could do that again, and that we've seen that the last couple of weeks.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
And we welcome you back to hour number 3 of the Morning Rush, where we've got to look forward to our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog update, our conversation with Tom Murphy via the McLarty Daniel Hotline, and a story I've got to get to on a women's basketball coach that was fired mid-press conference, which is just about as crazy a situation as it gets. All that is coming up in hour number 3 of a Bandwagon Tuesday.
Brought to you by The Fence Man. See our buddy Sean or call him at 782-3936. Sean will come out, take a look at your project, whether it's your home or your business, talk about options, talk about custom work or anything you need done for your fence, your existing fence, or maybe a new fence. Maybe you got an old fence on a house you've purchased that's, just dilapidated, needs to be replaced, or maybe you need power automatic gates. Anything you're thinking about when it comes to the perimeter of your home or business, he can make look better and work better. 782-3936, 479-782-3936, The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update.
Giannis over to Bobby in the corner. We'll take it. Oh, Bobby's got it. Slam.
Whether you're listing, selling, or leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all your real estate needs. Go to lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
Clackton was the 3, drives instead and hammers it home. Well, that young man's aggressive.
All right, Christian, what you got for us this morning?
All right. Bobby P. had 11 points in the Bucks' 124-117 win over the Clippers on Sunday. He had 8 rebounds, which led the team. Patrick Beverly had 5 points, recorded 2 steals and a block.
Bucks are starting to get in a rhythm a little bit with Pete Bev being traded right before the deadline to Milwaukee. I know they're excited to have him there in Wisconsin, and again, Bobby Portis, a fan favorite. We'll see if they keep it going in the NBA and the eastern side of the conference.
In the Thunder's 124-93 win over Memphis on Sunday, both Fort Smith guys got in. Isaiah Joe had 7 points. Jalen Williams had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block.
Yeah, Jalen, big energy guy. He came back from an injury that had hobbled him for a couple of games. I was watching some of those highlights. They're OKC's head coach and their management seems to love Jalen Williams, as we loved him here. Best smile that Arkansas seen in quite some time, and happy to see him back coming off that injury.
On Saturday, Nick Smith Jr. had 4 points, 3 assists for the Hornets in their 110-99 win over the Nets. Two really bad teams, but it's good to see Nick Smith getting some playing time.
Yeah, I just whenever Nick Smith gets mentioned among Arkansas fans, there's always an opinion. More times than not, it's negative, and I just really wonder if he had been healthy last season, not just what the team would have been like, and probably would have been a lot better than 8-10 in conference, but just the perspective of Nick Smith would have changed a lot, in my opinion.
All right, switching over to the baseball side of things. 2024 prospect rankings, Caden Wallace comes in at third. I know he spent some time with the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. It looks like he's going to get his shot.
Yeah, a lot of Arkansas guys that have been listed by, was it MLB.com?
Yes.
That had that as high prospect rankings in their franchise list. So excited to see not just the guys that are currently playing in Major League Baseball, but the ones that will at some point make the next jump to the MLB, and there's plenty of Razorbacks that can, not just in the MLB, that are about to make that jump too.
Eston Kerstad is ranked fifth. I think he got a home run in his first game last year for the Orioles, so looks like he's drawing some interest as well.
Yeah, Heston, a lot of those guys, again, Kane Wallace, who you mentioned, there's plenty of them on that list that will have an impact at their franchise.
Peyton Paulette, who I know was injured most of his time at Arkansas, is ninth. Ryan Kostu is in at 12th. Dominic Fletcher, who is no longer a Diamondback, he's on the White Sox now, 13th. Jace Borfin, 20th.
lefty. He can play. Matt always talks about that Sean, as good as he was as a football player, was an outstanding basketball player. So apparently his son is elected to go that route. And
his mom was a player too, from what I understand.
Oh, she could hoop too?
She played at UALR, is my understanding.
Okay.
So I had the honor of officiating their championship game last week, and he's a dynamic player. Got to see him at Farmington in the state tournament. I'm not so sure. I mean, I would love to see. They don't have the overall state championship like they had long ago, back in the 80s. I don't know how long it went back, but they stopped that in the 90s, where you'd bring all the state champions together and they'd seed them up and they'd have a tournament to determine the overall champion. I think if you had one of those this year, Little Rock Christian would do very well and may win. That may be your best boys team in the state. I don't know. They are really good.
A little different from when I was in high school 10-plus years
Yeah,
ago.
they used to take – now, there was not as many classifications. There weren't 6 classifications of schools, but they take all the state champions and they play another tournament after the state champions. They quit that because you'd win the state title, then you'd go lose in the overall, and it
diminished it.
It diminished your state it diminished the joy of a state championship. I get that. I understand that, but wouldn't you like to see Little Rock Central play Little Rock Christian and some of these matchups that could happen out there? I think Christian would hold their own.
Football too. I think there's some football contests that I'd want to see.
I think like Parkview this last year would hold their own in football, but that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying that's how good J.J. Andrews' team was with all the talent that was on that roster.
Yep. All right, let's do what we do every Tuesday morning. Talk to Tom Murphy.
Now, let's talk to Tom Murphy on the Morning Rush.
Tom, just got the email from Kyle Parkinson, Associate Athletics Director at Arkansas, that Colby Smith has been officially named as the running backs head coach. There were wide reports, pretty much the speculation was not guaranteed, but there. Just kind of your thoughts on the timeline, that Jimmy Smith's departure to Fort Worth, and then the recent acquisition of Colby Smith at that same position.
Right. Well, good morning, guys. I've been watching practice from the Bev Lewis lot. Well, the pre-practice, I guess. We're about to go in there, and I have not seen that email. But I just think it's a deal where, you try. If you're Bobby Petrino, how many of your own guys, quote, do you want? Well, he's definitely got Fouch, and I think Mateos was a combined, agreed upon deal. Morgan Turner, obviously, good credentials as a tight ends coach. But, what are you going to do at running backs? How hard was TCU pursuing Jimmy Smith? Because he worked with Kendall Briles. So a lot of factors involved there. Colby Smith, obviously a player for Bobby Petrino at Louisville, knows him, coached with him at Western Kentucky and Louisville. So, it's one of those one of my guy type situations. And I'll tell you, I don't know if this is going to be written about in the coming years or what, but Jimmy Smith's ability, first, he was a great recruiter, and then his ability to keep that running back room together, particularly after 21. Traylon Smith did leave, but, that was the year they brought back Rocket as a sophomore, A.J. Green as a sophomore. Dominic Johnson was coming off a huge year. and they brought in Rashad Dubinion, and they managed to make it work. And, I mean, you think about the Texas game where, like, all those guys scored touchdowns, and then next year Rocket really blows up, and they managed to keep A.J. Green and Dubinion, in the fold going into 22. And, it blew up a little bit after last year when they didn't have much of a running attack. But I think Jimmy Smith's legacy here is one of a really good recruiter and a guy who brought in a big stable of running backs that able to hang on for a few years.
Tom, you mentioned being at practice. You mentioned about to see practice coming up this morning. You had a chance to catch up with Taylon Green, and I was reading your article, and I get a sense, and you're there on a daily basis, that he hasn't necessarily locked up the quarterback one role, but he is the leader right now. Is that, from what you've gathered the last few days, are you predominantly more on that side than maybe you were prior to spring practice?
Well, you had the sense that he or Criswell might be with the ones because they're the most veteran guys. Criswell obviously got playing time here last year. But, yes, I would strongly agree with the statement that he's in the lead. there was an interesting conversation with Sam Pittman on Friday last week about the microphones or the speakers that they're going to put in the helmets, which is going to be allowed for one player on offense, one player on defense. Obviously, that's your quarterback. They haven't done that for Taylor Green yet, and it's because if we do that, we're basically saying he is the man. And this is an open quarterback competition, even though we've only seen Taylor Green with the one. That's like a decisive step, and it probably will wind up in the helmet of a linebacker, almost certainly as well. But it's a step they haven't had to take yet, and I think during the course of spring they might start experimenting with it, obviously, to get ready for next year. But Criswell was with the threes. I think it might have been some kind of indication of what they thought of the workouts and leadership stuff all during the winter workouts. Now, Criswell did take a lot of snaps with the twos in the second workout. We didn't see Sunday, but we're about to get practice number 4 here in a minute, and I suspect Green will still be with the ones, and then the twos will be a really close examination here.
Yeah, and I've talked to a couple people that had eyes on practices this weekend, both of them, and the common thing that keeps coming away, there's still a lot of work to do, but they're headed in the right direction. But that's the phrase I keep coming back, keep hearing from people that have put eyes on it. There's still a lot of work to do, but they like the direction things are going.
And, here was my take, and I wrote about it some, I think in Saturday's paper, and it was that there seems to be a better flow to the offense. If I'm thinking back to last spring and then in camp, the amount of fastball starts we saw where running plays were pretty bottled up close to the line of scrimmage. There wasn't a lot of running room. Well, here, just the way the misdirection and the blocking schemes or what have you, there seems to be more freedom. The running backs have hit the holes and kind of had a little more downhill to them so far. And it's all just, esoteric, I guess. It's just the feel of it and the look of it. And I'm not saying this because I know Bobby Petrino's had great offenses here. That's just what I've seen. And I asked Sam Pittman about it, and he said that some of that is, Bobby Petrino is a genius-type guy. He's been given that label, and he makes things work. But another thing, they've been running a lot more zone to start this camp, and I have noticed that as well. And so that gives you little pockets. And so a Bobby Petrino offense finds ways to get your tight end right in that little pocket or right in the slant, over the linebackers, inside the zone coverage, and they've just been better at it. And, I mean, I'm not one to just sit and bag on Dan Enos, but Bobby Petrino's experience over the years, I just think, gives him a little more creativity and innovation in what he does offense.
Here's what Bobby Petrino calls plays with a scalpel. You can use that line in one of your articles.
He does. He finds a way to exploit what you're doing and just get a guy in space.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of times it's just that simple. Where your X's line up against their O's and how you get that guy in space, and then what he does with the ball when he gets it.
Yeah. So another takeaway is everyone is expecting to go watch one of these practices and see Bobby Petrino be a madman and dropping profanities left and right. I was told by someone that was on the field firsthand, watching the practices from a distance, that he is far more reserved than people think, and he is ultra focused on the quarterbacks and what he's doing, and he is not. He is doing a lot of teaching and not a lot of screaming and yelling. So this I think this image that a lot of people have that he's out there like a madman like 15 years ago. He is a different. He's taking a much different approach, and he's a different person. Would you say that's correct from what you've seen?
Bobby Petrino was a smart guy. When he was the head coach here, and we had open practices and scrimmages and such. I heard all that, he's not the head coach now. He's the offensive coordinator, and he's learned. And I think today's modern kids, they might learn in a different way, and yelling and screaming isn't like a great way for a lot of them. So, yes, I have heard a lot more of a low-key Bobby Petrino. I really haven't heard his voice raised above the din of a normal practice. Now, that was indoors, and we're about to be outdoors here in a minute, and so we'll see. But and there are times I'm sure he gets on guys. I've seen him displeased, but it hasn't been to the point where he's, bombing a guy out in front of everybody. And I think that's he's he's matured since he was the head coach here, and B, it's a different style of player.
Tom, last thing before we let you go. There have been plenty of NFL free agency signings in the last 24 to 48 hours. Your Atlanta Falcons just dropped a lot of money on Kirk Cousins. Do you like the investment?
Well, I haven't seen the money. I got a text from somebody when I was doing something else yesterday and hadn't seen the news, but the text was in all caps and it says, "You like that?" And so I knew what that meant. And, is he an upgrade over
Ritter?
Desmond Ritter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is. He's a more veteran. Is he as nimble as Desmond Ritter? No. Probably more accurate. And, has been around the game a lot longer, so it gives us a better chance to win next year. But my guess is that, the legacy of this contract is going to be at some point where, it's not going to be a great value to the Falcons. And hopefully he's a great leader. Hopefully he takes to Atlanta. The roster takes to him. The new coaching staff find a way, to make his qualities come to life. So I'll be rooting for him, obviously, but I think time has shown us a guy of his age and his background and his skill. I don't know if it's going to wind up being a great value to us.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. A lot of free agency signings in the last 24 to 48 hours, and that was one of the more notable ones in the National Football League. Tom, good stuff, man. We'll do it on Thursday. Either recap a win or recap a loss with this basketball team in Nashville.
Outstanding. Talk to y'all then. Bye.
All right, Tom Murphy with us. We'll talk more basketball later in the week with him, but a good update there on the start of spring practice for Arkansas football. We're brought to you by the Hickey & Hull Law Partners. They have grown immensely over the last few years. They have now added offices over the last year or two in Mena and Little Rock. They already have locations in Northwest Arkansas and Fort Smith. So wherever you're listening in the natural state, they are nearby to help you with family law matters, criminal matters, civil matters. Maybe you've got an issue with a property owner next to you, whatever maybe you've been injured in an accident. They, at work or in a car accident or whatever, they can help you with that. So whatever your legal need is, they are there for you. Family law is the specialty of the Hickey & Hull Law Partners. They have over 7 decades of combined experience to fight aggressively for you from your corner. 479-434-2414. 434-2414 for the Hickey & Hull Law Partners.
To you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Family owned and operated and making your family dreams come true for over 70 years. Always online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Dispose of your surplus prescription drugs with no questions asked. Join us for Take Back Day on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find a convenient collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com.
Warm up with hot preseason savings on your choice of New Holland equipment right now at WT Equipment. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a free loader on compacts. Choose 0% financing or cash back on mid-range tractors and on select hay tools. Or get up to $40,000 cash back on a new T7. No matter the job, hurry into WT Equipment today and shop their huge selection of in-stock inventory. Now is the best time to get a truckload of savings on the trusted quality and efficient power of New Holland equipment. Offer ends March 31st. Commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification at CNH Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard term conditions and other restrictions apply.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our number one volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Charge, please. Touchdown!
Solve your roofing problems with Freedom Roofing and sleep soundly beneath a sturdy roof tonight. Locally owned, licensed, and insured, Freedom Roofing is a dependable company that will help you with the insurance claim process. Residential or commercial, they'll be there step by step. Call Keith Holt, 479-597-6777, or Rick Carlisle, 479-651-3247 today on all roofing services and break free from your aging roof. Good luck, Peyton Holt and Hog Baseball from Freedom Roofing.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Need to lose 100 pounds this year? Don't restrict your diet. Forget joining a gym. Instead, lose the weight of that cheating spouse of yours. At Mock Legal Solutions, there is no hourly billing. You pay one flat fee for your divorce. Call today, 479-769-1505. And let's be honest, it's closer to 200 pounds, right? Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Coverage of the 2024 SEC Tournament in Nashville, Tennessee is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Elma, Arkansas. Family owned and operated and making your family dreams come true for over 70 years. Always online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Dispose of your surplus prescription drugs with no questions asked. Join us for Take Back Day on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find a convenient collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Chuck is a living legend in this state. And anytime I get to talk to Chuck, it's a privilege and an honor to speak to you. And as long as you, Ty, you know you're a little wet behind the ears.
A line drive by Jones to left field. That ball way out of here. That got out in like 3 seconds.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
That's how I'll be listening all the way to Nashville. In Arkansas at the end of the show. In Nashville by the end of the show. Be listening to Hit That Line Now app all the way there. Excited to hear what Derek, Zach, DQ, Matt, Big C, and Phil got corked up for later on today. And see what happens here on a Bandwagon Tuesday, the remaining 30 minutes. Do have a funny story to tell you about this coach that got fired. I say funny. It's probably not a great way to label that, but we will get to that coming up. Before we do that, we'll talk to our friend Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources this morning. Larry, you got some March Madness stuff for next week, or maybe you're doing it a week early?
We've started at the start of the month, absolutely having a real good time in March, and we've got a big inventory, cars, trucks, SUVs. Guys, we keep all the most popular makes and models right here in one place, so you don't have to go all over town to drive them all and check them out. You can come to Rath Auto Resources, talk to one of our friendly non-commissioned solution specialists, let them show you some cars, test drive them until you find the one that's just right for you and your family, and then let us worry about getting the price and payment to where it suits your budget. That really is just how simple it is to get a quality situation at a car lot. Make sure that you're getting a great car, you're getting great service. And we're doing that for folks all the time. We call it rolling with Rath, and all the happiest drivers, they are rolling with Rath. And part of that is the Meineke Car Care Center. The Meineke Car Care Center, Philip and his crew back there do a terrific job of taking care of people and their cars. And, we've got the easy financing back there. We've got the buy three, get one free on tires. We've got the half-off brakes going on right now. Chad told me last night they're working on some oil change specials. Listen, it's a terrific time to get your car taken care of, and it's a great time to trade that car and get yourself something better and nicer at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. We're just north of Phoenix on Towson here in Fort Smith. You can check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith and in Springdale. Larry, enjoy the day, and let's chat later on Friday.
All right, you guys have a good one, and folks, come and see us.
So what is the worst day that you've ever had in your life? This could be the passing of someone that was close to you, maybe something that happened at work, maybe it's something a little smaller that you just remember all these days later. For Kayla Ord, who at one point was the Utah State women coach, I don't know if this qualifies as the worst day of her life, but it is definitely up there. Take a listen.
And how do you plan to rebuild for next season?
I'm not going to be rebuilding. I just coached my last game at Utah State. I spoke with Diana, and they're going in a different direction, and I respect her decision, and I hope they get a really good coach in. I'm assuming that's going to be the last question.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
All. Thank you, Coach.
Wow. I'm assuming no one knew that. No. That was Bielema-esque. Off the court, fired, boom.
And that's what I was thinking. That's immediately I brought that here to
This wasn't one of those that, hey, she'd announced this 3 days ago and the reporter missed it.
And I don't know how many news nuggets there are about Utah State's women basketball. I don't know how big of a deal that is in Utah, but
that's breaking your own story right there.
Coach Ord just ousted there, and that's the similarity that I was reflecting on when I heard that audio clip. Was now remind me about the timeline of Brett Bielema and the job, because he was quote unquote not fired off the tarmac but walking off the field.
He came off the field, and
Julie Cromer-Peoples, the interim athletics director at the time,
pulled him into the side room there near because that was at a time where they were constructing the north end zone. So it occurred in the
press
south
conference
end.
after the game. That normally.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I was about to say that's pretty odd.
Didn't she do it?
No, he may have done it and then he was told. I'm not sure, but that's when it occurred.
Yeah.
So
occurred
moments after him leaving the field against Missouri.
Yeah, that was the
which I did not like at all.
No, and
I thought it was a bad look.
I'm not the biggest Brett Bielema fan out there.
No,
I thought there were points in his tenure where he let go of the rope, but that was about as distasteful as a firing as there has been in collegiate sports. It doesn't look good on your program. It's not cool. Hey, we fired our coach. No, because who wants to come follow that up? Because if you did that to him, what's
Chad Morris did apparently.
Yeah, well, we know how that worked out. That was bad. The stain on the U of A at the time.
Now, if you'd have fired Chad Morris that way, I think we'd have been fine with it. But that for me as an employer, that I had issue with that. I'd never do somebody that way.
JT says he remembers, and I should have, when I was doing this, I should have gone back to the timeline and just looked this up. I guess this was 2018, right? I should have gone back and looked, but he said that there was or 2017, that there was a release that Brett would not be having a post-game press conference. Again, that the timeline to me gets a little murky.
That doesn't change anything. He was, but She broke the news in her own press conference. So
not a good look.
I would think you'd finish the press conference and then make them aware.
But apparently,
maybe get back to campus and make them aware,
or just not do it.
And, well, you heard her say it. Well, that'll be the final question, right? Maybe she was just ready to get out of there.
Well,
and that's
sure.
why.
I mean, your whole world just got turned inside out. Hey, brought to you by Arts Barbecue, Burgers, and more. I say more because there's a lot more on their menu. I'm having lunch at Arts today. I need to probably get over here where it says eat your greens and choose from one of the salads. The brisket salad, the pulled pork, the blackened chicken salad. You can do the sliced chicken salad, the fried or grilled chicken salad, or dip down here to the bottom of the salad menu is my favorite, the cheeseburger salad, where they chop up one of their ham patty cheeseburger patties and then put that on top of the salad. It is delicious. Speaking of burgers, they got 10 different burgers for you to choose from. Last weekend, I tried the brisket burger, where they take a couple slices of their great brisket and put it on top of one of their burgers with that Arts sauce. It is delicious. Try one of their burgers or the great salads. Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
We'll wrap up the show next.
Live coverage of the 2024 SEC Tournament in Nashville, Tennessee is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Family owned and operated and making your family dreams come true for over 70 years. Always online at crabtreerv.com. And by North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education. Dispose of your surplus prescription drugs with no questions asked. Join us for Take Back Day on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find a convenient collection site near you at www.deatakeback.com.
Get ready for a new year of work with limited time savings on Bobcat equipment at Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers. Get as low as 0% for 72 months on a Bobcat compact tractor, or choose a free front-end loader when you buy with cash. Special offers are also available on Bobcat zero-turn mowers with financing as low as 0% for 48 months, or rebates up to $900 on select models. Call Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas or come by to get these great deals. Hurry, these offers end March 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $600 million. So, what would you do if you won?
Just blow my money on ridiculous, crazy materialistic things that have no value. Cars, jewelry, clothes.
I've always dreamed of visiting Greece.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $600 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is the game that they are saying national championship. And we're floating in a sea of red.
Let the madness begin at 810 Billiards and Bowling. Make sure to join them for all your favorite games and enjoy specials like the game winner, your choice of pizza, 20 wings, and a pitcher of domestic beer for only $40. Or the three-pointer, your choice of pizza, 10 wings, and a pitcher of domestic beer for only $30. Or $10 buckets of beer. Join the mayhem at 810 Billiards and Bowling, 5609 Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith. Come for the food, but stay for the fun.
Subiaco in Scranton, if you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco in Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Diamond Center is proud to present our inaugural Whiskey and Watches event. Now is your chance to get your hands on that timeless timepiece you've been dreaming of. Between now and Thursday, April 25th, in our Fort Smith store, call or stop by to pre-order your watch. Then join us on Thursday, April 25th for a night of celebration featuring rare whiskeys, cigars, and luxury watches. This is your opportunity to add that watch that you've always had an eye on to your collection. For more information or to pre-order your watch today, give us a call. The Diamond Center. Celebrate.
savings up to $4,000. 2 more reasons all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
The SEC awards came out for the All-SEC teams, Coach of the Year, Player of the Year. Not a single Arkansas guy made the list. I'll tell you about.
Could there have been?
I think you can make a case for Tremont Mark more than you could Caleb Battle. I know Caleb's been really good lately, but Mark's done more in the course of SEC play. And let's hear what Muss said first before we give our thoughts. But here's what he said in regards to not a single player being named to the All-SEC team from Fayetteville.
I don't have a comment unless I had some time to digest it, but I don't know who the other names are, so I guess it'd be inappropriate for me to comment. Certainly feel like T. Mark has had a great season and has been productive throughout the SEC season as well. So unless I had time to study that list, I would be ill-informed other than to say that I think T. Mark has had a great season.
What do you take away from his...
Well, I mean, he knows better than me. I mean, obviously, so, that's the name, not Battle, that came out of his mouth. So
that's who I went to first. I didn't have an issue. Again, I think it's outside of Shamar East, who was named the SEC Scholar of the Year. I think Vanderbilt, LSU, and Missouri are the teams that don't have players on these two first teams or the defensive or freshman team. Again, it's hard to, when you're third to last in the league, it's really hard to petition that you have a guy that is worthy of those accolades. A lot of times.
No, I mean, that's why I'm saying I don't even know really one that you could say, particularly when you're talking about, Dalton Connect, Sears, Reeves. I mean, go down the list of Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee. Those are the best teams because they've got some of the best players individually.
Lamont Paris.
Dalton Connect, I'm sure he was Player of the Year.
Yep,
so.
And he was. So I'm happy for Lamont Paris, who won Coach of the Year at South Carolina. Connect. Deservedly. Shepard, Freshman of the Year. You could give it to him or Dillingham, to be honest. Ziegler, Defensive Player of the Year, is always a menace. Dillingham was the 6th Man of the Year. It's the first time in 20-plus years that no Hogs have been listed on first or second team or any team.
Did anyone make more money for themselves over the last, say, 12 months, 9 months, whatever, 4 months in particular with the season than Dalton Connect? Can you imagine? I mean, I don't know where he was. I don't. You follow draft stuff a lot better than me. I don't imagine he was on anyone's lottery list.
Nope.
Anywhere when at Northern Colorado comes to Tennessee. Has anyone done more for their future than he did since October?
I would say the only one would be Reed Shepard. Shepard was not. He was not even really highly thought of comparatively to the other Kentucky freshmen that came in, and now
but he wasn't. I hear what you're saying, but Dalton Connect was at a JUCO, then went to Northern Colorado. He was further along the track. Shepard's a freshman at Kentucky. You're still on the Kentucky roster.
Yeah,
he went from Northern Colorado to Tennessee, and now has become a lottery pick over the last 4 months.
Yeah,
it's an incredible story.
Yeah, because Chuck was telling us this story. Started at Prairie View A&M, then the JUCO you mentioned, then Northern Colorado. I think I have that timeline right, and now in Knoxville, which is insane.
I mean, that's why I say it's more because he was further down the years and further down the track of college basketball. Shepard's a freshman, may not have been highly recruited, well thought of, but they don't just let slouches on the Kentucky roster.
Jeff, his father, and his mom being basically all Kentucky parents had something to do with that.
I don't think they have a legacy program there. They just let you on. This isn't football where you're the 85th man or a walk-on. This is Kentucky basketball. You earn your seat on that bench.
Yeah, he has earned it several times over this season. But yeah, the Connect thing, I would tend to agree with you that he has earned the most money of any college, not just in the SEC, but any college basketball player from where they were, let's say, a year ago today, and heading into the SEC tournament and into March, where Tennessee is still battling for a number 1 seed alongside North Carolina and some other teams that likely earn it. We'll see.
Is he going to? I mean, where's he projected? You keep up with mock drafts. Is he going to be top pick, top 3 pick? I don't know what these mocks say because I don't watch it like you do.
He's not going to be the first pick, but he'll be a lottery guy. I mean, he's got the issue.
I'm hearing commentators say he's a top 5 guy.
Yeah, the issue is what you just brought up: the fact that he's in the NBA just doesn't like the guys there because they feel like there's 3 or 4 less years of prime when they, like for Connect, for example, being I think a 4th or 5th year player in college. And whether that's right or wrong, they feel like the ceiling has already been closer and there's less prime available to those NBA teams.
You're only going to give a rookie a 3-year deal anyway.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand the philosophy, but people there get paid a lot more than do. Either way,
I just know he's had a heck of a 4 or 5 month stretch.
Yes, and you would have loved. I still remember when one of the Arkansas media members said Arkansas has contacted Dalton Connect out of the transfer portal in Northern Colorado, and again, Muss and them either contact, and he's explained it before, just because they reach out to someone doesn't mean they're just kind of curious, and there's so many transfer guys that go in. Muss was kind of talking about it a little bit. The transfer portal opens on Monday. There's some guys that are already in it, and because of the grad transfer rule, you can enter in at any time. But there's so much that will happen next week. And for once, unlike the last 3 years, Arkansas will have a leg up in the sense they don't have anything else they're doing.
Yeah.
Their sole focus is not going to be on an Elite 8 game, and they don't have to worry about the focus of recruiting and game planning. They solely get recruiting, which I would hope gives them an advantage in these next couple weeks.
Okay. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but no one wants to repeat this route. I don't want this advantage again next year.
No, I don't think there's any question. But if you're looking for light at the end of the tunnel, which I know a lot of it's already.
I think that's more of a silver lining on a dark cloud, is what you're looking for.
Listen, it's hard to be positive about what's happened this year, where you sit 15-16, you're the 3rd worst team in the SEC, and you have a chance to get eliminated by Vanderbilt of all teams tomorrow night. Again, it's not like I'm taking solace of that. I'm just trying to find something positive to pull out this negative sense of what we've received and what we've watched.
Hey, I don't want to go to a bowl game so we can work on recruiting.
Yeah, that's, again.
Okay. That's why we have 1 million people on staff. Look behind that bench that Muss puts all those people on. There's a ton of people over there that can work on whatever. Anyway, no one is believing that you're suggesting they shouldn't make the tournaments. They work on recruiting. So. Got to hit. You just can't hit and miss this year as many times as they hit and miss this past year out of the portal.
Yep. And that is going to conclude your SEC update this morning.
And it is brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. They got their Beat the Winter Blues hot tub sale going on right now. You can beat the weather with hot tub savings up to $5,000 on Hot Springs Tubs, the world's best-selling brand. Spend time with your family in the new Serenity Series 6-person tub. It's only $75.99. Warm up and say goodbye to the winter blues with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith and always online at burtonpools.com. Hey, at Burton Pools and Spas, they don't just sell hot tubs. They build long-term relationships. Find everything we're talking about online at burtonpools.com.
So just to recap some of the things we've talked about here on a Bandwagon Tuesday, I think Tommy and I agree. Thin Mints are the best Girl Scout cookies.
Or tag-alongs.
On Girl Scouts Day. We haven't had... Though, at least I haven't had in quite some time, but I do want to try some tag-alongs, too, because it's been a number of years.
I think that's the one, the chocolate-covered peanut butter cookie. Yeah.
Plenty of NFL moves. We talked with Tom about the Atlanta Falcons signing Kirk Cousins. There's been others that we've seen. Tony Pollard is now a Tennessee Titan. Josh Jacobs, former Raiders, now a Green Bay Packer. This will not be the end of these different signings that we see. And, again, I like this. At the professional level, not as big a fan. Want to see more of this in college, even or it's more prevalent than it's ever been.
Well, and it's just hard to keep up. And I guess with fantasy sports and the NFL, you follow players more than teams anymore. A lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the fantasy player, but you'll root against your team if the player on the opposite team is on your fantasy team. I hear about it and see guys talk about it all the time. I think that's one thing that has made the NFL even more popular than it's ever been. But at the same time, I think, you're not a fan of teams anymore the way you grew up loving the Cowboys or loving the Chiefs or whatever. I think you're still a fan of that team, but not with the same deep passion you once had.
I can tell you in our fantasy league, we have Cowboys fans, probably 75%, a Dolphins fan, a Packers fan, a Bears fan, and every single one of us care more about our fantasy team than we do our professional team.
Yeah.
I care way more about the Thunder Ducks than I do the Green Bay Packers. And I think, like you said, that's hurt the team fandom, but it hasn't hurt the NFL draw and popularity.
Now you'll, instead of watching your team in a game, and maybe one other, you'll watch with reason 3 or 4 other games. I think fantasy sports has helped college football, and because I think you watch for a couple reasons. College fantasy football is not really even a thing. It all started with fantasy baseball, and I don't know anyone. You know anyone that plays fantasy baseball daily anymore?
I know one guy that is a diehard, and I got asked to play, and I was like, no chance. I don't follow enough MLB to begin with, and that is not my area that I would enjoy watching.
Do they do college? I mean, again, I'm not a fantasy sports guy. Do they do college fantasy football?
I think in certain betting websites have it. I don't know the particulars.
I mean, if we wanted to do, where you had a draft and you'd choose players out of the SEC, or I don't, because you don't play fantasy for money. I mean, you do within your own group, but I mean, you're not betting against the house, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's a different. They have the player props and the daily fantasy and stuff like that, which I know you can do for college.
But I mean, it's like a fantasy league like you do with the NFL. I don't know if they even offer. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know.
If they do, I'm unaware of the place that you can play it on.
I say that because I think there's a lot of people in my age group and a lot of people that listen to us that would probably do college fantasy football or SEC. And that's probably the players they choose a lot. Probably miss some good players elsewhere, but I would be more interested in that than NFL fantasy football.
Still couldn't cheer for Carson Beck or Jackson Dart, even if they were on my fantasy team, but definitely would draw in more interest here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. So maybe that's the bandwagon you're on as we close out today's program. If you missed any of our content with Tom or Bruce or Tommy and I, Jocelyn this morning, you can check it out on the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Also on hitthatline.com and our brand new Hit That Line Now app. You can also go back and watch us on YouTube, X, Instagram, Twitch, and also Facebook too. I know a lot of y'all still get on Facebook pretty consistently. Gonna be in Nashville live tomorrow, thanks to our friends at NAFI and Crabtree RV. So that's gonna do it for today's program. For Tommy Crab, Big C, and everyone else who joined us this morning, I'm Ty Richardson, live in the Music City, starting tomorrow at 6 a.m.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at